tale. Well, there's a place I've come to know well, led by a man named Sty. He's full of stories, he is quite a guy. Sit around the campfire and hear him tell his tale. Some may be able to relate to him quite well. We're all just people looking for a place to go. Well, Sty has made one, and it is quite a show. Come meet Sty, he's quite the guy. If you're feeling lonely, come and make a friend. If you need a story, on Sty you can depend. His voice is soothing like a lullaby. Sometimes he brings a tear to my eye. Sit around the campfire and hear him tell his tale. Some may be able to relate to him quite well. We're all just people looking for a place to go. Well, Sty has made one, and it is quite a show. Come meet Sty, he's quite the guy.
It's Sunday night, Sty Story Sunday. Hey. Yeah, plum crazy tonight. Oh, that you're going to say after Christmas Day, couldn't get any more crazy, but yeah, at least the story's plum crazy tonight. I'm going to give a shout out to all the great folks that jumped in the chat. Some of them jumped in real early, and you guys been just chatting away out there. So I want to give a shout out to all those that are talking in the chat. First person in the house tonight was Groovy Lava Squirrel Medic. It is always good to see Travis. Then we had Peppers in Kentucky Living saying hi to Travis. And hey, Sty, thank you for last night. No, thank you. Peppers in Kentucky Living had his first StreamYard stream last night, and I went over just to see how he was doing and ended up on the panel. So it was a blast. I want to thank him a lot for letting me be there. And then we got B Whistle. Hey, Brandon, another one. Yeah, you guys are just wonderful. I love you guys. Hey, Rob, it's good to see you. Welcome around the Sty Shack. Pull up a chair, and there's one of my sweet ladies right there. Teresa LaGuerra. Oh, yeah. The stream isn't a stream without Teresa popping in. Sit down here a bit. Oh, there's Matt Jones. Hey, or Thomas, rather. Matt Jones, right? That's, you know why I said that. I know a guy here in town. His name's Matt Jones. Sorry. No, it's Matt Thomas. It's great to see you, Matt. Welcome to the Sty Shack. Come on in. Then we got James with Chasing the Reaper. Great to see you, James. There's trouble. There's Hunt for Heat. I'm saying there's trouble if it's Cindy. And who else we got here? Oh, plain old Chuck. Hey, peoples. It's always great to see Chuck. Who else we got? Well, there's Eric Pollock. Great to see you, Eric. We got a good group of folks hanging out tonight. 26 in the house. A lot of folks out here in the chat. Um, Nimmy, great to see you. And yes, isn't Sam's song amazing? Love it, love it. Um, who else? Oh, Arcade, Arcade. Great to see you, Arcade. There's Martin. Martin D, B5. Dr. Smith. Awesome. Hey, great folks. And you're absolutely right. They're all great folks. And with that, I'm caught up. I'm caught up. So guess what? I got one person hanging out in the basement. Now, this is a very special person that went in for it for the long haul with me on Christmas Day. There she is.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Sty.
How are you, Granny?
I'm doing quite well.
That's good to hear. That you're making me feel better. I never intended on Christmas Day having any casualties, and sometimes things just don't go the way you plan. Hey, there's Vanessa Kitty, Granny.
Hello,
Say
Samantha.
hello. The Soul Stealer. There you go. Great to see you.
My hubby's fantastic.
Yeah, probably better than you yesterday.
Yeah,
That's-
he's a much better day than me.
Hi, Lizzie Ann. Want to stop and say hello. I can't stay. I'm in a lot of pain. If the pain goes away, I'll be back. Much love. Oh, I hope it does, girl. I hope it does. We don't want you suffering in any way. Yeah, what a man. I tell you what, Christmas week was rough on me too. I mean, I was talked into going to a after party that Crazy Ann put on, and I dipped into my Christmas stash of Fireball that night, and I didn't want to drink them up because I needed some for Christmas Day, so I tapped into a bottle of whiskey I had. And that ended up being quite the night. And then it was just a couple days later. There's my 8-hour stream that turned into 12 hours, and a struggle for me to find a place to lay down for the night. And little did I know how much Granny was struggling that night. So, hey, hi, Raven. Yeah, I want to thank anybody and everybody that showed up for the Christmas Day stream. The stream right now is showing 1,057 views. That's a lot of views, a lot of views. I did have a raid from Nicholas Green, and I had a few people say, "Well, you got all those views because of Nicholas's raid." Well, I went and I looked at the numbers, and you can see the peak, and you can tell how many people were watching, and then all of a sudden how many are, and then how many are watching again. After, before and after the raid, and I cut the difference off, and Nicholas brought 65 people over to the live. So that was super awesome. Got to meet a lot of new people, and they got to meet all my dear friends over here. And I think we had a very good Christmas Day. It was, in my opinion, as much, if not more, of a success than last year's. So I want to thank everybody out there. You guys helped make it what it was, that's for sure. It wouldn't have been much without you guys. Yeah, yay for Nick. Yay for Nick. Nicholas Green, he's one wonderful young man. I tell you, I like that boy.
He's a very cool kid.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. And I want to keep my hopes up. He wants to come up and camp at my campground this summer. So I told him, I said, campsite, you come on up. I got a huge campsite, got a spot for you. He can stay as long as he wants. Yeah. I just want folks to know that my stream tonight won't go beyond 3 hours. No way. I've got a very early morning doctor's appointment in the morning, and I want to be fresh as a daisy for that. So I'm going to keep my stream down 3 hours or less tonight. I'm not getting talked. This isn't like one of those special streams where Sty can get talked into. Well, you got something to drink, don't you? No, that ain't happening tonight, guys. No. And Granny, she's not on board with that either.
No.
And keep in mind, we got New Year's Eve coming Thursday night. We're still doing around the campfire. I got a gut feeling that a few of us towards the end of the night, before we hit midnight, are going to be a little flammable and should probably sit back from the fire. Yeah. Oh, there he is. There he is. There's Saucy Shane. Hey, buddy. Yeah, I watched you chugging today. I showed up so late that I said, no, I'm going to just watch him say goodbye, and then I'll go back and rewatch what I missed. And that's what I did, because I wasn't going to jump in there and start chatting because you only had a few minutes to go. But it was fun going back and watching. You did a good job today, man. Chug it. First you tasted all of them, then you chugged. I said, yeah, you done good today. It was a fun stream. Oh boy. Oh boy. There he is. There he is. Hello, sir and madam. See, he's trying to upset us there, Granny. You know, he wants to treat it. Well, he should, though. He should treat at least you like royalty.
He called me a madam.
Yeah, well, it's all in the eyes of the beholder, right? And so, yeah. Oh,
I know, Mike. He called me a madam.
how dare you, Mike? You dirty old man. That's terrible. I'm sorry. My old brain ain't working so fast tonight.
Gotta love.
That's great. Yeah. Frozen ding dongs? No.
Nope,
Yeah.
nothing frozen. I've had enough freezing for this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I sent off today. Well, I ordered it today. I'm sending Granny a survival tool. She'll be prepared for next Christmas. But she did tell me that, no, that was enough. That's the last one like that I'll do for the rest of my life. So
Yep.
I don't blame her. I don't blame her. It can be rough on us older folks, you know.
Whew.
There's Joe Weymouth.
Hey,
Well,
Joe.
hello, Joe.
You're not like the rest of them, Joe. Hey.
Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't quite like the rest of us in the last few streams. He kind of just enjoyed himself, sat back and did a lot of laughing and watching. And yeah, he was like, yeah, I'll leave them alone, let them go wherever they go.
Yeah.
God, when we got off on telling jokes on Ann's stream, it was just getting crazy. Travis and I were just joke after joke after joke, and then we turned on Joe and said, hey, you got to have some jokes there. And he goes, nope, I ain't got any. But he's laughing his butt off through the whole stream, but he wouldn't contribute with a good joke, you know. Well, hello, Samuel Love for Jesus Christ. It's great to see you. And had, what was that? Had horrible reception where I was, or I would have been on longer. That's very understandable. Very understandable. The We all have to deal with that. Um, even the folks that I can't remember who I was watching yesterday, and um, they were a high end channel, and they were having internet issues, and I was just laughing. I was just laughing. I mean, this was a channel with 500,000 followers, and he's lagging and he's hiccuping, and he fell off the panel. He came back up. He goes, "I'm so embarrassed." He says, "But when the internet goes bad, all the equipment in the world doesn't help." Some people, by the way, do show up late, sooner or later, but typically later.
What's up,
Hello,
everyone?
Johnny.
Yeah, going pretty good, Johnny.
How you doing, Johnny?
And here's Johnny.
Oh, what's happening, everybody?
Just
Chilling.
another Sty Story Sunday.
Oh.
Oh, except my rear end is never going to be the same after spending 12 hours in this chair the other day.
Oh, well, at least it's the chair.
Yeah. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
A more comfy chair.
No, the chair's perfectly comfy. It's the hours of no circulation, Hey, Moose Gal, great to see ya.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, Bradley, great to see you, Bradley Whitworth. Did you watch Shane drink his sauces today?
No, I have been out of commission today. It was finally 5:30 when I got the last person out of my house in the last 4 days.
Oh, wow.
For the last 4 days, I've had people in my house that don't live here
Uh-huh.
in one way, shape, or form or another.
Right.
So, yeah.
You finally got your house back.
Oh,
That's that's the way I always felt. And I would tell my ex-wife that. I'd go, "Oh, thank God. We got our house back." But her response was always, "And it's trashed." Yeah. Well, but it's ours. It's ours. They're gone. It's okay. Yeah.
yeah.
It's like Granny said that the other night, Christmas night, that when she came back to her shack the next day, she couldn't believe it. Debbie had a big party in there and trashed the whole place. There was empty bottles laying all over the place. Yeah, it was just trash. And Miss Debbie had a big party. I told her, I said, "Well, Phil asked me if I had seen Sty 2.0 because he just disappeared." I guess he went over there and partied hardy with Miss Debbie, and they trashed the shack. Yeah.
Could have been.
Yeah, I had to clean it today. It was terrible. I was like, oh my Jesus God.
Some people's kids, I tell you. I'm just trying to say hi to everybody here. I think I said hi to everybody. Oh,
Oh, come on. The way you say hi to people, that's going to be the next hour.
I try to be,
Yeah.
I try to reply back to everybody individually best I can,
Yeah. Yeah, anybody that didn't watch Saucy's stream today, yeah, you get the chance. Oh, it's an hour long. He did an hour stream, and it was good. It was good. He did a very good job on the review side of each of those sauces. He got a gift.
What did he review? Oh, that's right. I saw the packaging. Yeah. I saw that.
Yeah. Yeah, he reviewed every sauce in the package. And you chugged 3, right, Saucy? Yeah, 3 of them, I believe he chugged. He kept the 2 best tasting ones to eat on his scrambled eggs and stuff, but yeah, he did a good job today. Good job. He convinced me. I think I would be willing to maybe buy that pack because I'm sure there's a couple of them I would like for, using on my food,
Yeah, I had a gentleman over at my house today down from Florida. He's dating a girl that we used to go to church with. He happens to be of Hispanic origin,
oh,
and he was quite impressed with my layout of
of sauces and stuff. I bet you. I bet you. I bet you he saw that and he goes, "Oh my gosh! I thought we went north. We
Yeah.
ended up going south." He probably felt right at home there. He's probably wondering why all that ain't up in the kitchen cupboards.
Yeah, right.
Don't you use that every day?
I do my best work down in the basement.
Yeah.
Want to join me in the basement, Granny?
Sure. Yeah.
Behave yourselves.
I like the basement. I've always liked the basement.
But then again, that's why I want StreamYard to figure out a way where we can do like a audio cutoff where if I got a bunch of people sitting down in the basement, I can switch over and hear what they're saying in the basement.
That could really be fun.
It could.
But the problem is they're not talking to one another.
Well, I want that capability amongst panelists to be able to talk in the basement until they get pulled up. Then they're talking to everybody else. But in the basement, it's a private conversation. And because it would be just hilarious. It'd be hilarious because I could pop my mic to the basement or my earbuds to the basement and go, oh, listen to that dirty stuff down there. I mean, for me, it's content material, man. It's stories for the future. One day in the basement.
Well, they almost ought to be like a little panel down in the basement where it's lined up like it is now, but they're all on like a panel in the basement. And as you want to bring someone up, you just put on someone, bloop, and
you just pick which one. Yeah, you just pick which one. Well, if they could see what I see down in the basement with them all lined right up, they could see each other. You can, as a host, you see those pictures in the basement just fine. They're about the same size as what I got on the screen. So
right.
They could be down there chatting amongst each other. And then if one's getting out of line or they're getting risque and showing something off, you could just pop them up on the panel, say, welcome to oh my gosh, what were you doing in the basement? Oh, I could see some real fun with that ability. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
not everybody does what we do on live streams.
Oh, Mike, yeah, right. Mike, that's good to hear that you're feeling close to normal again. Yeah.
Well, he's not quite there because he's calling y'all sir and me madam. He got a few more.
Right. Yeah. We don't want anybody to get their hopes up. He's almost normal. So he's pretty much so himself. Because there's no way in hell he's going to get completely normal. We know that.
His normal is not
our normal.
He gets back to his wisecracking self. I'll know he's normal.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. No, Bradley. No, he had an accident. Fell down some stairs and injured himself, and he's had a long recovery.
And not just the steps, just other things that have gone along with it that weren't step related. It's just
Oh yeah.
one thing after another, man.
Right. I think the fall down the steps triggered a couple of the other things too.
Yeah.
It was just like a chain reaction, man. He had a snowball effect going on. Hopefully that, they say, bad things come in three. He got 6 all out of one bad thing, and hopefully he's good to go for a long time. The new e-waste, Mike, is about to arrive. The new. That's cool. Yeah.
I did test my new Hispanic friend though. I gave him a couple of the Reaper corn nuts from Blazing Foods.
Oh, you did?
Yep, and he didn't say anything foul to me in Spanish, so I think we're good.
Oh, there you
I
go.
think he was legit.
There you go. Good, good, good. That's yeah. Here, have a couple of these.
Yeah.
And
Well,
by
he
the
was
way,
talking
I'm
about-
judging your response.
He was talking about they went to Buffalo Wild Wings and he had their blazing and it was hot and all this. And I was like, all right, well, when I showed him what was going on down here, I said, here, this probably should be. So he just took 3 of them and I gave him 3. You know, he says, you know, he made his nose run a little bit. He said, but you know, other than that, he handled it. He handled it like a champ. So
Yeah. That's cool though. I love it when you get somebody new that you know you never met them and alike, and you give them something they've never experienced, just to watch their reaction. I'll never forget my oldest daughter when she married this guy that I never even knew the guy. I never even knew she was going out with the guy and didn't know nothing about him. He shows up at my house as my son-in-law. Oh my God. It was hilarious. I said, well, you know, you guys should have called before you showed up after I got over the initial shock. And my daughter says, why? Were you busy? I said, well, I am busy. I'm going to be real busy. I said, I'll be back in a couple minutes. You guys go ahead and visit. And I come down the stairs with every freaking gun I owned in the house. And I got them under both arms and carrying them all down, lay them all out on this big coffee table we have. And I go, I'll be right back. I go back upstairs, come down with my cleaning kits. And I go, well, it's gun cleaning day. You guys, I'm not going to not do that just because you guys showed up. The look on that poor boy's face through that ordeal, sitting there just slowly disassembling a gun and cleaning it and talking to him. And once it's back together, kind of leaning the barrel in his direction, you know. What did you say? Yeah. And I thought, well, okay, I can tolerate the guy. He didn't say anything, and he just looked a little nervous. He didn't overreact or anything. So I thought, okay, I can tolerate him, I guess. Yeah, we got a good group in the house tonight, 29 folks. Real quick, I want to give a little shout out to all my. Hey, Joe Shipley, it's great to see you, by the way. I want to do this so that my members get shouted out. Got to make sure that happens. So once this is over, we'll go right to the Sty Story. Just a little point of interest. I'm just one member away from getting another emoji for the members to play with. Yeah. So, by golly, I'm going to put my 2 friends over here next to me. There we go. And we're going to get this Sty Story done and out of the way tonight. this Sty Story, Plum Crazy, was another one of those random picks out of my story list. So I didn't know what I was going to get. I just picked the story, popped it up, and I go, yep, I can do that one. I'll do that one tonight. Well, this story, it's not Christmas or winter related or anything, but it's a good. Yeah, I like reminiscing about this story. Okay, back when I was a kid, surprised. Sty thought he was the king of the neighborhood, right? I was boss man. I considered all the kids in our neighborhood. We were like a little child mafia, and I was the boss man. Well, we had in our yard two of the biggest plum trees you ever seen. Oh my God, they were huge, these two plum trees. And we had two big apple trees. Well, if you messed with the apples, my mother would have a fit. So you just don't touch the apples, right? Don't mess with the apples until the end of the season. If it's the end of the season, all the apples are going bad, go ahead and knock them out of the tree. She didn't care. Well, the plum trees, there were so many plums. I mean, we had plum jelly to give out to 10 families, and we still had leftovers when it was the next plum season. I mean, she froze them, canned them, made jellies out of them, plums, and she didn't care what we did with the plum trees because there were just way too many. She's maybe getting a tenth of them that she's putting up. Well, I caught on real quick our first plum season. When those buggers get beyond ripe on the tree, you pick it off the tree and you only have to squeeze a little bit and it just goes pop. And they're just juicy, nasty, drippy, syrupy. And they got a nice, good-sized pit in the middle, right? Well, neighbor buddy of mine, he's over one day, and I had a handful of them. And I can't remember what he said to me, but he cocked off to me, and he turned around and he started walking away. Well, I took that handful and I shotgunned him right in the back with him. And it was awesome. They went pop, 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 pop. And he's covered with plum juice on his back. So he runs over to one of the plum trees and he's picking all these rotten plums off the ground for ammo. And he starts throwing them back at me. So we're each under our separate plum tree, hammering each other with these plums till we're just covered in plum juice. And those pits kind of hurt. I mean, yeah. Especially if you got hit when you got hit in the face or the head, Well, before you know it, we get all of these. Oh, look at the members that popped up there. Oh my gosh. Joe's a hiker and Sterling Silver's a hiker. You guys are awesome, by the way. That was worth cutting in and shouting you out in the story. You betcha. Hey, so anyway, we get this wild idea. There's about 9 kids in our neighborhood that were all our general age group, within a year of each other, maybe 2 years. And my buddy Harold and I got the idea we need to have a plum war. And we'll get all the kids in the neighborhood and we'll split them up into teams and we'll have a plum war. Oh, was that nuts. The rule was everybody had to bring their own 1-gallon bucket, those old the round ice cream buckets. Every one of us kids showed up with a bucket. And you got to load up 1 full bucket of plums. And we split the yard in half. And the whole idea was to defend your plum buckets. When it started, it went plum crazy. We had not just boys in the group, we had girls in the group, and everybody was fair freaking game. We started plumbing each other like you wouldn't believe. We were just drenched in plum juice by the time we were done. It was the funnest dang thing we ever did. But it was kind of hilarious because my pop, he got a hold of all of the parents of all of these kids that showed up at our house to have plum one and told them, you all got to come on over. Hey, I'll provide the coffee, beer, whatever you want to drink. We're going to sit out here around the backyard and we're going to watch these kids play this plum war. So here we got all these kids, parents show up. And they're all hanging out there and they're all sitting in lawn chairs and at the picnic table. And my dad tells us all, you guys all ammo up, get your buckets full, and start over. We want to see this. So for almost an hour, we had our second plum war in one day. Well, all the adults sat there and laughed their butts off. When we were done and they realized, didn't matter, boy or girl, your hair was just pure plum syrup. Your clothes were just drenched in plum juice. Some of us had big bumps and welts on our heads and faces from getting hit with a pit, you know. Those parents, it was weird to watch because they got into a group. They circled around my dad. And then all of a sudden they broke up and they said, all right, kids, line up, shoulder to shoulder, every one of you. Out comes the garden hose. Now that was some cold, stinking water. Each parent got to hose off their own kid. We had to stand there at attention while each parent got their turn to hose off their own kid in my backyard. And I thought, yeah, this is kind of cool. But why, when they got to me, my dad didn't walk up with the hose. They went to the next kid. And I thought, why are they doing everybody but me? All of a sudden, I see two of the neighbor adults, parents, coming out of our garage. And they've got a short piece of hose. Well, actually, a couple pieces of short hose. And they've got one of those connectors where you can have two hoses coming off the faucet. Well, we had great water pressure, so there was no problem running multiple hoses. They put those two short hoses on, and then they put a double outlet on each short hose, and then there was 4 long hoses, and 4 of them men circled me and sprayed me off because I was the founder of the war, you know. Yeah, damn right. So I tell you what, I didn't think I had any skin left on me after they hosed me down. Them guys, they had too much damn fun hosing me off. And you would think, you know, they'd say, yeah, the kids had fun, blah, 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 blah. Let them do what they do, kind of thing. Oh, no. The following year, for about, I'd say at least 2 weeks, my dad kept saying, when is the plum war? We're wondering when you're going to have your plum war. We want to see the plum war. It was the parents that wanted us to go out there and pelt each other with plums and get all nasty like that. We were beyond the plum war. Well, didn't have a choice. Parents said, nope, that's part of you growing up in our houses. You're going to have plum war every year. The worst part, though, was when I got to be, I think I was 11 years old at the time. We had a blight come through, and the apple trees had bad fruit on them. The girls didn't participate, but all the guys in the neighborhood, yeah, we had an apple war that year. That I was glad we never repeated. I mean, I don't think any of the 5 boys went home without concussions. There ain't nothing like getting a great big old apple that big around bounced off the side of your head. I mean, yeah, you would think we'd go all go grab our hockey gear or something to do this, but oh no, you're out there in t-shirts and pummeling each other with apples that weigh a quarter of a pound apiece, and but a lot of people said that's crazy that your parents allowed you to do that kind of crap. Oh, it would have been crazy if they hadn't. I tell you what, that's one of the best things parents can do is if the kids are not going to actually injure themselves, let those kids go plumb crazy sometimes. And just sit back and enjoy it. And just sit back. You get to laugh. You don't have to get messy with them or nothing. Just watch. Let those kids get plumb crazy. So there you go. There's your Sty story for this week. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to pop us back up this way. There we are. Boom. There, I got my chat back up. Great to see everybody out there. What's that? Phil. He is.
Is he going plumb
He's
crazy?
muted. And he's got that.
Oh, wow. I won't tell you what I said then.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Dang it. I'll get a lip reader over here and replay that. Figure it out.
No, I was saying, when we were in elementary school, they had those walnut trees.
Oh,
with
yeah.
the big. Oh, and we used to pick them up and throw them at each other. Someone would get hurt. Then they go through the school. Anybody caught even picking one up would be suspended for a day and stuff like that. But we used to pick those things up and wing them at one another all the time. Rarely did someone get hit in the noggin.
Yeah.
But man, did you get hit with one of those things? They were hard as hell.
You didn't intentionally aim for somebody's head with one of them walnuts. So when a walnut's in its husk, that's a big bugger.
Oh, that hurt.
And it'll hurt you. It'll hurt you. Yeah.
Yep.
It's temporary pain from the neck down. Your head, that could end up with permanent damage. You could end up being a Jim Bob just with one good walnut.
You didn't go in purple, but you were purple underneath your clothes.
Yeah. I found that out the very first time I went out to play paintball with a few buddies of mine.
That's smart.
I wasn't properly geared up, and they knew it. They knew I wasn't. I didn't know nothing about paintball, and I was doing pretty good. But every time I got hit, it was just like, man, oh man, I was dancing around, rubbing that spot like, holy God almighty. At least they put me in decent head and face gear.
Oh, yeah.
But when I took a shower that evening, I come out of that shower and it still looked like I hadn't washed the paintball paint off, because I had bruises that were about the size of a silver dollar all over my damn body. It looked pathetic. And I said, no. And then I find out these guys who are in all these nice jackets that take that impact out of it. They feel it, but it doesn't bruise them up. And wear the right jacket and pants, and you can go out there and shoot each other all day long. That
ain't no fun.
Boy, you show up in light clothes, yeah, you better be ready for the bruising, because you're getting one.
Yeah.
We had one guy. So I played paintball for almost a whole summer. I borrowed gear, though I wasn't going to invest in a lot of gear. But we had one guy in their group. I never seen adult men give a grown-up spanking like that to somebody ever, because they had a new guy showed up, and he had light gear, and they thought he'll learn just like Sty did. He got shot in the back by this one guy, and he hit the ground, and he wasn't moving. We checked on him, and they got his light jacket off of him, and they pulled his T-shirt up, and between his shoulder blades, he had a bruise about that big around already. Within just a couple of minutes, he had a bruise that big around between his shoulder blades. And this guy that shot him said, Well, I didn't think it would hurt that much. And one of the guys said, "What do you? I want to see this cylinder on your gun, that holds all the paintballs." He grabbed that guy's gun by the cylinder and he pulls his hand and he goes, "What in the hell are you doing?" Find out he froze a batch of paintballs.
Oh.
And he's shooting frozen paintballs at us. Thank God he didn't hit me, because I would have gone and got the real gun, man.
Oh yeah.
Opened up a can of whoop ass on him.
No, and they did. And
lot of
they
them
did.
didn't.
They did. Four of the 8 people there jumped on that boy and just, I mean, they literally slapped the shit out of him. And the
Not
back
as
of
much
the truck, they took his paintball gun and threw it in the back of the truck, and that guy's screaming, "I paid over $600 for that!" And you could hear it smash in that truck, and they just, you get off the field and never come back.
Mm-hmm.
If he would have hit that kid in the head, it would have killed him.
Yeah.
Yep.
It would have killed him. Stupid.
Some people are just totally ignorant and dumb and got no sense.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Oh, I'll get the advantage. I'll freeze mine. Yeah, right, boy.
yeah. That's where the term comes from. Is you can't fix stupid.
Ugh.
Wow, that's amazing. That even crossed my mind that someone could freeze those damn things.
Oh yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
terrible.
See, they're latex based colors, so they wash out. And because it's water soluble, it'll freeze. Now, if they were oils, they wouldn't freeze solid, but because they're latex based, they will freeze solid. Yeah.
They should have took switches to that boy.
Yeah,
After
right.
they took his jeans off.
Part of me right now is saying I almost regret even bringing it up, because nobody out there
Right.
do that. Don't go freezing your paint.
I don't think we got a group of people that anybody would do something stupid
no.
like that. So.
No, I don't think so either. I don't think so either. It's always that. Oops. Because I have told people things I did as a kid, and their kids are in the room, and then I find out a couple weeks later that they're mad at me because their dumb kid went out and did what I had done. And so I spent the rest of my life, if there's a kid around, putting out a disclaimer right away, do not do this. I was one of the 10,000 that was fortunate enough that survived.
Yep.
Don't do it. The large one in the snow, ice skating. Yeah. That's one thing too, is that's one thing I love too, is I'll have somebody come in and just about clip the side of my truck, and I look at their rig. It might be a truck, it might be an expensive sports car, and I'd go, whoa, watch it, man! You almost took out the side panels of my truck. I'm well insured. I said, so am I. I said, but how's your health insurance?
Yeah, right.
I could care less about your car insurance. You're going to need health insurance like you hit my truck.
I ain't taking Sally out on those snowy roads. I don't want her to get hurt.
No.
Well, not if you don't have to, no.
No, Sally ain't going out in the snow.
But is Sally your only transportation?
Well, I've got that old Jeep that's kind of like a backup, but it's only good for around town.
Oh, okay.
They can't drive it very far.
Well, if you can take it up to the grocery store and things, and
Yep,
the Piggly Wiggly and shit.
that's what we
Yep.
do. We jump in a Jeep if it snows.
Even
for
though
me,
Sally probably be safer.
For me,
Mhm.
it's kind of weird because I'll take that King Ranch of mine out in the boonies, and the branches rubbing all over it, and it's going over rocky crap and through big mud holes. And I come into town, pull into Walmart, and I park where there's at least 4 open spaces either side of me. I don't want anybody around me. Don't nick my truck. And my youngest boy, he goes, I can't believe how anal you are about door dings and things like that. But yet you take your truck out in the woods and beat the hell out of it.
Well, you know what? Mike told me. He said, you need to get that van off the street. He saw it sitting where I park in front of the house.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So I did. And you
Yeah.
know what? I put my Jeep out there. Somebody ran into my Jeep and bent the bumper.
Ah,
Oh, I
see?
would have been so mad if that had been Sally.
That's it. Got Sally off the road just in time.
Yeah. So thanks, Mike.
Yeah. 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 You know, there's a lot of people that take their vehicles kind of personal. You know, if I put a scratch or dent in my truck, that's mine.
Right.
And somebody else does. Wait a minute, you did it to mine. Don't know. You don't do that. I get to. You don't. Yeah, Matt. Trucks are made for the woods, not for parking lots. You know, I swore up and down. I swore up and down when my ex-wife and I got divorced. I had a what the hell was it? It was it's not the Dodge Ram, it's a step down Dakota.
Dakota.
I had a Dodge Dakota pickup truck. And that's a smaller truck, you know. It's a light half ton. And the one I had a V8 in it. And I carried quite a bit of weight in the back end of it, just to keep the tires from busting loose on me on dry pavement, you know. And I loved that truck, but the minute I got divorced, all of a sudden my ex-wife, oh, can you help me move my things to my new place? Not even 2 months go by. I don't like it in this new place. I'm moving to another place. Could you help me move? You got a truck and trailer. So I said, I'm done with that shit. I sold the truck, got rid of the trailer, had nothing. Went and got myself this beat up old Chevy Lumina. I mean, that sucker had about 600,000 miles on it, I think. But it got me everywhere I had to go.
Mm-hmm.
I even took that sucker out in the woods, you know. I mean, front wheel drive, you know, it had a big V6 in it. It had good traction. So I could get what I wanted, get to wherever I wanted to go with it. And all of a sudden, nobody's asking me, oh, can you come and help me with your truck? Well, after about a year and a half of never getting asked to help anybody move and shit, I thought it was safe to get another truck. So I got a Dodge Ram that was a old Forest Service truck and King cab. It was a good sized truck. I didn't have that truck 3 days. Can you help me move something? Can you haul something for me? It started right away. I mean, my signature wasn't even dry yet on the title. And so, can you come over with your truck? I can come over and run you over with it. I mean, go buy your own damn truck.
That's right.
Yep. I know why there aren't a lot of truck owners out there. It's because there's just enough truck owners to move their shit for them.
That's right.
That's it. Why buy one when you know somebody that's got one, right? Yeah.
Uh-oh. Sausage hangs for wrestling with hot sauce now.
He's doing what with it?
He's wrestling with it.
Wrestling with? Oh,
Yep.
yeah. The hot sauce waited. Here, you thought the fight was over. The hot sauce got its second wind. Ouch. My stomach feels it all right already.
Yeah, my truck's still coming along pretty good. I got 351,000 miles on my Tacoma.
Yeah. I think that's awesome. And it doesn't really surprise me because if you take care, like a Tacoma, like your rig. If you do regular maintenance on it, take care of it, that bugger will give you a hell of a lot of miles, man. Hell
especially
of a lot
pickup
of miles.
trucks.
What's that?
Especially pickup trucks.
Yeah,
Pickup trucks, because they haul, they're built with bigger, beefier suspensions and tie
I
rods and things
I
like that in order to be able to be graded to tow those heavier loads. Heavier
I
loads isn't just about the engine and transmission. It's about the
right,
other
right.
components that go along with the engine and transmission. So they're going to last longer than a Lumina or an
Yeah,
Equinox
right.
or a Ford Exploder or something like that. So
The
A Ford Exploder.
Ford Explorer. Hey, get real, man. I can't remember the year of that Explorer I had. That had 286,000 on it, and it it was in damn good shape, and it run good. It run solid. Um, but I do have to say, I I had a couple of friends. They each had one of the what are they Eddie Bauer editions of the
yep.
Explorer, and both of them had issues. They had issues all the freaking time. So it was like a flip of the coin. When you got an Explorer, you may get one. That was the kind of deal with where you go into it planning on buying a lemon, and you might come out with a peach. You might where the other way around is you're going in thinking these are a peach, and you got the one lemon. That's the way I saw Explorers, but that's like with my truck. People don't get it. Yeah, it's got the big V8 in it. It's a King Ranch, so it's a rolling Lincoln Continental that looks like a pickup truck, and it's heavy enough. It's heavy duty. I can pull trailers behind it, and not know they're there. But it's not efficient. It's not efficient. That's a gas guzzling son of a bitch. But Ford's got that version with the beefed up V6 in it that gets twice the fuel mileage and has all the power, everything that you need. It's you really got to look at. That's to me, vehicles are like anything else. You want to see them on the road for a while, and then decide if you want to buy one. So you want to see what people say after they've had them for a while. That's like my kid, my youngest boy. He bought a Colorado, right? Is the Chevys?
Yep, small one. Yep.
Yeah, small Colorado. Neat looking truck, sharp. He had it for 2 years. Holy Jesus. I told him, if you got to put any more freaking money into that piece of shit, you're insane. Go buy something new and buy something that does not have 5 cylinders in it. Don't buy that 5-cylinder piece of junk. He's got one jug that fouls all the time on that engine. I mean, that he got that truck and it had 60,000 miles on it, and he didn't even have it for a month, and that cylinder fouled out, and you got to swap plug out on it every month. You got to
Wow.
drop a new plug in that hole, and that 5-cylinder, if you've got one cylinder missing on you, you talk about shake the shit out of your rig. That sucker's so out of balance with a misfiring cylinder. It's terrible. It's terrible. And our vehicles rot up here because of the salt they use on the roads. His poor truck, that sucker had cancer when it was born. Because right now, I see him driving by and I go, God, what's it feel like to drive around in a Chevy frame? And he goes, what do you mean? I said, you ain't got a truck left. Look at it. There are no truck left. The fenders are all gone. The running boards are gone. A fourth of each door is gone. I said, it's dead. And it don't know it. It don't know it. Yeah, truck of the living dead. And now his 4-wheel drive went out for the 3rd time in 4 years. In 4 years, 3 times his 4-wheel drive is trashed out on him, and he don't use it. He never pulls anything of weight or anything, and he's just running it in 4 high. around town when the roads are nasty. But no, that four-wheel drive's got issues in that truck. And there's guys with the exact same year truck, but it's a different model than that Colorado. And they look really good for the year, and they're solid, and you never hear the person pitch. Everything's good. I told my kid, because he is a true Chevy fan, you know. I got my favorites in all makes.
I'll be right back.
Yep. But yeah, I don't stick to just one manufacturer. I got my favorites in different makes. That's like with big vans. I want to go with a GM product on the big van. I owned a big Ford and I owned a Chevy, and my Chevy didn't give me any grief. The Ford did. It gave me a lot of grief. But for me, you want to talk old vehicles, then if you're talking trucks, anything 1950 forward, GM. I want GM, you know, for the older trucks, all the way into the late 60s. 1950 to the late 60s, I want GM. But if you're talking older than 1950, Ford trucks. Because Chevy trucks in the early 40s are ugly as sin. And the Ford trucks with their flathead 80s in them were tough little trucks. I like them. But yep, Chuck, you're right. Bad ones in every batch.
Yeah, that poor little old Jeep of mine, it's a 97 Cherokee Sport. And I got it revived after it sat for 5 years. And
wow.
it's got issues. That's why I don't want to take it no more but here around town. And it just holds all of us. It's just enough room for us and a little space in the back.
I had an 88 Cherokee Sport that bugger just would not quit running. I mean, it just would not quit running. And basically what happened was the body rotted off of the thing so bad. It started having electrical issues and things. And I decided to sell it to this kid in town. He drove that dang thing for, I think, 3 years or so. And I ran into this kid's dad, and I said, whatever happened to that old Jeep I sold your kid? And he goes, well, he says, you could say it's still running. I said, what do you mean you could say? He says, well, it runs really, really good. Doesn't go anywhere, but it runs really good. And I go, well, what happened? Driveline give out on it or something? He goes, no. I pulled that straight 6 out of it, and it's running our lumber mill right now.
It kept going.
It kept going.
I don't know. Maybe one of these years I'll do some more work on it and get it a little bit more roadworthy.
Yeah, that's one thing I do miss is not having a spare vehicle, you know. Just have it, even if it's just a beater, you know.
Yep. Well, it was honoring us. The city made me take it out of there because it wasn't running. And I was like, yeah, I'll be damned. They're not going to dictate me not being able to have my Jeep sitting here. So I took it down to the trailer and I fixed it and I brought it back legal and running.
That's it. See, that's like here they have an ordinance within city limits that you can't have a vehicle that's not operational and have current tags on it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So it's amazing how many junk vehicles are in this town with current tags on them. They say, hell, I'll pay the annual registration on that until I get it running. And when they come and say, well, we haven't seen that vehicle move in a month, it's got to be operational and tagged. And they say, well, okay, I'll move it, and I'll move it. Come by tomorrow, and you'll see. Yeah.
Yep.
And well, in the middle of the night, they throw a rope on it and they tug it around, park it in a different spot, and they drive by and they go, oh yeah, shit, I guess it does run. They moved it. But yeah, I hate that too. Unless it's somebody that's running a junkyard that
Yeah.
is in a residential area and they're just piling junk on their place where it's not even that they're not making a living off of it. They're just hoarding everything, all of it. So,
Well, all I had to do to get it running was put a new brake line on the front, and it had to have a fuel pump.
oh yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Inconvenient stuff to have to do,
and I
but
put some new tires on it.
there you go.
I think
The
it's one of my first YouTube projects.
Chuck, I just want another metal dashboard. Oh, I'll tell you what, there ain't nothing like the older rigs, older vehicles with the old metal dashes. But I did bust my nose and fracture my jaw on the dashboard of a 1964 Chevy Impala. Yeah, when it goes airborne, lands on its nose, and your face connects with that steel dashboard, it's not fun. But I loved the older rigs with the all steel dash and all the chrome. Ah, God, those days are so long gone.
Yeah.
Loved them, loved them. Fuel pumps are pretty easy, but brake lines can be interesting. Nothing ever goes right replacing them. Yeah, yeah,
Well,
brake
I
lines.
on that one. It was just a short piece that needed replaced.
Yeah, and if they bleed out good, if your bleeders are good and you can bleed them out well, the first go round, then it's a breeze.
Just
But
a little piece that's on the front driver's side that had to be replaced.
Yeah. Yeah. 69 Stang. There you go, Soul Stealer. That is sweet. That is so sweet. Yep. I had a 64 and a half Stang ragtop, had the 4-cylinder in it. Sure looked like a sweet car, but to me it was a sweet car because it was root beer bronze, the paint job. Had a fresh paint job done to it. And it was root beer bronze with a black rag top. And the only thing I didn't care about it was originally red and had the white leather seats. And the white rag top. So I had replaced the rag top, but I never replaced the white seats in it. So here I got this root beer bronze with a black cap, beautiful Mustang with white seats in it. I sold that so I could play with different other cars. That was my problem when I was young, man. I'd own a car and drive the hell out of it, but then I'd see another car that I got interested in, so I'd sell that one, go get a different one. I jumped around so many vehicles. I tell you, one of my favorite was this guy he had really beefed the hell out of this car. That was a fast car. It was a tough car. And that was an old 56 Crown Victoria. I loved that. I loved that car. 2-door. Yeah, that Crown Vic.
Welcome back.
I'm back.
I'm back. I'm back.
I am back.
See, when I was young, when I was in my teens, I was really we had a big group of buddies that we're all into modifying cars, making hot rods, and I was the odd man out. But that damn car, I found out years later that the car had sold like 3 times after I had built it, and my buddies, I got to say, what me and my buddies built, because they did a lot of work, and that was frame up. I mean, every nut bolt came off of that car, and everything was, if it wasn't sound, it got replaced with aftermarket original equipment, right? But she was beefed up pretty good. But it was so odd. It was a 1933 Plymouth 5-window coupe, and those old 33s had the suicide doors on them, and I dropped a 390 Ford boat anchor in the frame of that thing. That car is tiny, man. 2 people sitting there, you're touching shoulders, and yeah, that 390 was too much motor for that little car. But man, I cruise around town with that, and people go, "What is it? What is that? What is that? What is it?" Because you don't see anybody hot rodding a 1933 Plymouth.
Good night, Mike.
Oh, are you calling it a night, Mike? Hey, you have a very good one. Very, very good one. But yeah, it's the weird cars that really stand out. My ex-wife, the very first car I bought her after we were married, I bought her a 1970 Duster. And that came stock with a slant 6 in it, right? Well, the one I bought her, no, it had a Hemi in it. One of my buddies had bought the car, and he thought, hey, it's not going to be so, I can fit a Hemi in that damn, under that hood. And he squeezed it in there, and it had a little, it had a good kick up on the rear end, and it had a shortened rear axle. It ran 70 series tires that were within the wheel wells. So unless you looked up the butt of that car, you couldn't tell it had them big meats under it, And like a damn fool, I buy my 18-year-old wife that car to cruise around town in. Yeah, 56 Ford Custom Line. Yep, awesome.
Yeah, I never had a hot rod. I never had any of those cars. Me and my dad up through high school shared vehicles. I had a Ford F-150. I don't know. It was 86 when I got that truck, or 85. So it was probably like a 7 or 8 year old pickup truck that I wrecked before I went in the Marine Corps. I really never had anything. The nicest thing I ever had was when I bought this Tacoma brand new.
Spanking new.
I'd always bought used cars, 2, 3 old used cars still in the manufacturer's warranty and things like that. But yeah, I've always had to be a practical guy. Once I got out of the Marine Corps, I was a married guy with kids and stuff, so always had to be practical. So
I wish I would have turned practical somewhere along the line. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with being practical. My ex-wife went through 3 Lincolns, 2 Continentals, and a town car. She went through a Cadillac. She had that Duster. I did stop her, though. She was going to buy a Challenger that I didn't even feel safe driving that damn thing. I mean, I took it out for a test drive. Oh, she wanted that car. She wanted that car because it was a purplish color with a white vinyl roof and white interior. She wanted that car. I said, well, I'm going to see how it drives, and we'll see if we're buying it or not. I took that thing out. Very first stop sign I came to, dry pavement. And I'm standing on the binders, and that thing is going, woof, woof, woof. And I'm moving about 4 inches forward every time it goes whoop. And I'm standing as hard as I can on them brakes. That son of a bitch had too much beef going on under the hood. And I thought, yeah, right. I'm going to put my old lady in this car, let her cruise town with. No way in hell. The price was awesome, but I know it. God, well, and I also knew I'll never get this thing insured. Hey, Gemma, hi, Gemma. That was the hardest part. The worst car I ever had, though, as far as insurance went, I got a '69 Olds Cutlass 442.
Oh, 442.
But it was a limited series pace car. Okay. Oh yeah, I should have asked the Chevy dealer why it was so cheap. It's because nobody could afford the insurance on the damn thing. I'll tell you what. When in 1974, a 1969 vehicle is costing you $1,280 a year to insure for liability only. That ain't a car to own in that era, and not at that price. I mean, you don't pay $100 a month insurance back then. You could have 10 DUIs and get cheaper insurance on a normal car. And I couldn't believe it. I was so proud of that car, and then I found out what the insurance was on it, and I signed the papers already. Damn it! Yeah, too late. I drove it for about 6 months, and I just couldn't swing the insurance no more. It was ridiculous, so I sold it. But that was another one that was just too damn fast, man. That was the only car ever in my life that I tried to outrun the cops twice, and they actually didn't catch me on the road. They caught me at the house. The one time was terrible. I'm sitting out in the garage having a smoke, and I hear the sirens coming down the street, and they're coming in the driveway. This cop comes flying in the garage, and he points at me. He says, "Don't even say anything." He goes up, puts his hand on the hood. Yep. Big tickets. Getting the big tickets.
You don't even have to be doing excess speed. You could be doing 5 over in one of those crazy looking cars, and it's like it's an eye magnet for the police, you know.
Oh, I'll tell you, God, you are so right, Phil. I had a 1970 Chevy Impala station wagon, and everybody thought, "Sty, you damn fool! Why would you own that ugly car?" And I said, "Oh, it's a beautiful car." I said, "It's an Impala. It's tricked out. It's comfy. It's just great. And yeah, it's a big old station wagon." But I said, "I don't get tickets in it." I'd go down Interstate 35 over here in Minnesota. I could be doing 95 miles an hour in a 55 zone, and they're going to pass me and pull over that bright red Corvette up there that's only doing 50, 5 under. And they're going to blame him for how fast I was going. They never touch yellow family cars. They don't do it. They don't pull them over. I don't know. Cops have a weird color blindness thing, you know.
But it isn't always the color of the car too. I can't tell you how many, I don't say stupid customers, but I'll say it's stupid customers that I would try to be selling a Prius to or a Volt to. Oh no, I can't get red. That's a cop magnet. I'm like, excuse me, you're driving a Prius. That thing could be freaking neon yellow with racing stripes, and it's no cop magnet.
Right. Right. There's certain vehicles where the cops go, nah.
Is that car really going that fast? No, it's not going that. I got to get back to the office.
Can't be him.
Calibrated.
Can't be him. Nah, no. Well, I did get pulled over. I had this little Vega that had one of them aluminum block 4-cylinders in it that once they go bad, you just take it out, throw it in the garbage can, drop another one in. The motors, that never didn't work on them. You throw them away and put a new one in. And I put a small block V8 in that Vega. This cop pulled me over, and when he walked up to my door, and he saw who I was, he looks at me and he goes, "Oh, shucks." He says, "I thought this was going to be real interesting. I expected some little old lady." He says, "Some little old lady in this Vega doing 90 miles an hour in a 40, you know. And then he's like, could you come out of the car, please? And I'm like, I got to get out of the car. I mean, this is like 11 o'clock in the morning. I go, I'm not intoxicated or anything. He goes, no, just jump out of the car and pop the hood. So I had to show him what's under the hood. He goes, oh yeah, that's a nice small block V8 and that light little piece of junk you're driving. I said, yeah, it's fun. Gets me there and back. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. One thing I did learn too is the unibodies on Ford Pintos are junk.
You talked about you make it believe there's something that have to do with the fact that it's a unibody and a Ford Pinto. I mean, Ford Pinto is junk. Forget the frame; it's just a Ford Pinto.
No, well, you know, if everything in a Ford Pinto actually was solid, they're a fun little car to drive around.
Well,
I enjoy driving it around, but the thing is, it equals a death trap. I mean, it's just a death trap because you don't know what the hell's going to happen in that thing. You don't even know if your wheels are going to stay on. But when the unibody rusts out on them, it's always right at the corner behind the driver's door, straight across to the passenger side. And you'll be going down the damn road, and all of a sudden your car busts in half, and the belly's dragging down the damn road. This sumbitch.
You just gotta make sure you leave enough space between you and the car behind you in a Ford Pinto, because you don't even want to get tapped in the rear end. I can remember back in the 80s, just what the people were going through. A car would get tapped and it would go up in flames. The gas tank right there behind the bumper.
Gremlin was no better. You know, the real death traps were the old Corvairs, and I had one, and I loved that Corvair. Loved it. But yeah, you didn't want to hit anything head on, otherwise you end up with a lap full of burning gasoline. Just like Volkswagens. I tell people, they always said, oh God, there's so little between you and that next vehicle. I said, no, it's not so little. There's a big old tank of gas between you and that next vehicle, you dope. And then those gas-fired heaters in the VWs under the same fucking hood as the goddamn gas tank. I had a 64 VW, had a sunroof in it. For its day, it was pretty sharp. And they had swapped out that VW engine, dropped a Porsche engine in the ass end of that thing. Couldn't beat it. Faster than shit for a Volkswagen. But that had one of those gas heaters that fuels itself off your gas tank. And I'm like, nobody's ever turning that bitch on. There ain't no way. You don't put something like that next to your gas tank. You don't even need an accident to blow up doing that. I mean, yeah, there were certain things in the past that they thought were great ideas that just weren't, you know.
Yeah, there were some pretty poor designs on vehicles. I remember, I think it was in the 80s as well. You know, they come out with the Yugo. You remember that car?
Oh, the Yugo.
They didn't have hose clamps on that car. They had zip ties.
Zip ties.
That car, I mean, how much did you save on the zip tie versus a hose clamp? But that car was so shittily put together.
They were throwaways.
Yeah, they were. I mean, they weren't the 80, 100,000 mile throwaways that we were used to with Chevrolets and Pontiacs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was 40, 50,000 miles. You threw that bitch away.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was ready for the trash can. And yeah, I knew a few people that went out and grabbed Yugos, and they drove them for about 2 years, and then literally right to the scrapyard. They didn't even try to sell them. Yeah. They went to the scrapyard. Yeah. And our mechanics, our GM mechanics around town where we were living, if you brought a Yugo in, they go down the street. They didn't want to work on them. because they felt they were ripping the person off.
Yeah.
You don't want to waste your money.
It's totaled.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, you won't believe this, but yeah, that fan belt just tore everything off the engine. You want to car that, but it's those kind of mistakes they make, you know.
Yeah. Well, you know what they call a 4-door Yugo, right?
What?
Wego.
A Wego instead. God.
I know it's an old joke, right?
Yeah, yeah. I still get I still get a kick out of jokes like that, though. You know.
Well, then you got the old joke back in the day, back when Toyotas were new in the market. You know, what do you get when you cross a Chevette with a Toyota?
We're waiting.
Old. I'm showing my age.
Yeah, it's like the old saying, you know, what do you get when you got a Ford Mustang has a head-on collision with a Pontiac Firebird, a pile of horse shit and feathers. Yeah.
That's good. I'd never heard that one before.
Oh, you haven't? Yeah.
No.
Yeah. You put those two together at 60 miles an hour, you got horse shit and feathers. I'll tell you what. I just on a whim, I saw this thing parked in a farmer's field, and I go, God, that's a kind of cool looking old 50s model car. You know, I got to go check that out. I go walking out in this field, look at it, and here's a 19, what was that? It was a 55 or a 56 Chrysler Crown Royale. Now that ugly bugger, I mean, it just round, you know, the typical 50s body style, real round. That had about 800 pounds of chrome on that thing. That dash was almost all chrome. Oh, we got to say hi to Gemma. Hi, Gemma.
Hey, Gemma.
Hello.
But I got that. Oh no, I take that back. That was a 53 Crown Royale. Well, I went to the farmer and said, that old car out in your field, you wouldn't be willing to get rid of that, would you? He says, well, I'm not willing to get rid of it, but I'll sell it to you. And I'm thinking, oh shit, he knows it's worth something. And he goes, no guarantees whatsoever. He says, you're buying it just the way it sits out there. And he says, I'm only going to give you a week to get it out of there. Otherwise, it becomes mine again. I go, ooh, okay. Yeah, how much? And he goes, $50. Done deal. Man, I went out there right away. I'm checking it out. Somebody was smart. Had pulled the battery out of it, you know. So I pulled the battery out of, I was driving a little I think that was a 64 Ford van, one of the short little buggers. They were tiny. And I pulled the battery out of it, dropped it in that old Royale. It's turning over. I'm going, it's not seized up. Yes. Got a couple buddies of mine. We got out there with fresh gas and a bunch of jacks, and we jacked that thing up, drained the oil out of it, put fresh oil in it. Got her, pulled all the plugs and give one little squirt of oil in every jug so that you know they're bone dry. You don't want to fire it up that way. Fired it up. Tons of blue smoke because the oil. Hi, sweetie. But it was amazing. I poured a little gas down the throat of the car, got in that big old car.
Now everybody's.
Yeah. It was so nice because that car was so tight. There was no rust anywhere on this damn car. And it was so tight. Rodents hadn't gotten in there and chewed up the seats or nothing. Turned the key, and that sucker fired right off. Blue smoke all over the place. And within 2 minutes, no smoke coming out of that tailpipe. And I don't know how long that farmer had it sitting out in the field. I put it in gear, see if the transmission, you let it sit there in gear for a couple of minutes, just letting everything lube itself up in that tranny. Don't try putting any pressure on it. Then when I decided, yeah, it's long enough, we'll see if the tranny's any good. Accelerate, pulls right out, and I'm like, the freaking tires are still aired up. I drove the damn thing home while my buddy drove my van home. Got it home, washed the whole thing, cleaned it all up, checked all the fluids, everything was cool. I started driving the thing around town. There was nothing wrong with that old stinking Chrysler Crown Royal. Well, this buddy of mine says, I want that car. I want it bad. I really do. That's so classy with all of the chrome, and the dash is beautiful. And I said, fine, okay, I'll give me a price. He says, I'll give you $1,000 for it. Oh, well, yeah, sure. I only paid 50. I'll take 1,000. You betcha.
There you go.
2 days after he owned it, I was managing a pizza joint at the time, and I was standing out front of the pizza joint, and here he is driving by in that Crown Royal, and I'm like, yeah, it's good to see that car rolling down the road. It had white walls. It looked really sweet, that car. And that's when I realized, oh shit, there's a delivery truck stopped in the street, just about maybe 40 feet from the front of my restaurant, and it stopped. Big delivery truck. And here comes Red driving by with that Crown Royale, just so proud of his new car, and he's waving at me out the window, and he's looking at me. And that's when I realized, stop truck in front of him. And I'm yelling, Red, look out, look out. He looks over his shoulder out the driver's window instead of in front of him. Hit the back end of that truck and pushed that truck about 30 feet. And we ran out there. There was so little damage to that car. And Red was in the hospital for 3 weeks. He had busted his sternum, hitting that steering wheel. He got stitches in his forehead from hitting the steering wheel with his face. No seatbelts in them old cars. So he kissed that all steel, beautiful dashboard really bad. And when I went and saw him in the hospital, they had him in traction and shit. And he kept asking me, did somebody haul the car to the dump? And I said, well, no. I said, no, I drove it over to your house. He goes, oh, you couldn't have driven it. Look at me. Look, it was bad. Man, it knocked me right out. I was unconscious. And I said, no. I said, headlight and the headlight rim is smashed to shit, a little bit on the fender. I said, the grill package on the front, it's kicked in, but we'll be able to pound that back out. A little bit of body work on that driver's side fender, and you'll be back on the road. He couldn't freaking believe it. That car was a freaking tank, man. That thing was
different between cars then and cars now, right?
Yeah.
Cars then held up when you ran into something and you didn't.
That's it.
Cars are designed to collapse nowadays. And
yeah, you walk away from it. That's it. You walk away from it, and your car's a big ball of crap sitting in the middle of the road. You'd never believe somebody could live through that. But back then, you saw 2 perfectly good-looking cars sitting there, and you're like, was there an accident? Well, there must have been. There's some broken glass on the street.
Yeah.
Then why do we have 2 ambulances and all these? We got people on stretchers. That's because if you're in that thing when it hits something, you're the thing that's going to go squish. Yeah.
That whole stopping at 35, getting your body to stop at 35 miles an hour from 0 to 35 when you hit that steering wheel. Think about it. Think about jumping on and hitting the steering wheel at 35 miles an hour with your chest.
And those steering wheels back then were nothing but a solid steel shaft that went down to a little knuckle.
Yep.
And behind that knuckle, almost every vehicle had a cross member that came up from the frame and went across over the top of the transmission. So that steering column would hit that cross member, and it's just like a spear sitting there, waiting for you to embed yourself on it. It's terrible. And you look, 1957 Plymouth, the center of the frickin' steering wheel had a cone that came out to a sharp point.
Oh shit!
It did. A chrome cone that came out, and it illuminated red light around the edge of it.
Oh God!
And that chrome point, I got in that car and I'm going, I watched them movies in school for driver's ed. That thing is going to be, yeah, it's sticking out your back if you hit something. You don't want that car. Oh, no. Cut the cone off.
Yeah.
And that's just like the steering knobs. Most farmers wanted them. Truckers all want them. And you put the knob on the steering wheel so that you can just really crank your wheel with that knob. You would be amazed. This is years ago, but I saw these specs that they had. How many people? It's amazing how many. It was a huge number of people. Broken wrists, totally busted hands, thumbs snapped right back. Just busted from that knob because they weren't driving vehicles with power steering. And they'd use that knob and they'd hit a rut or something and it'd yank and that wheel would start spinning and they'd try to grab that steering wheel. That knob would hit their hand and bust the hell out of their hand. Yeah. I worked for a couple trucking outfits that if they found you put a steering knob on your steering wheel, you're fired. You don't drive here anymore. Yeah.
Wow.
Don't do it. Steering knobs. God, there were both my grandfathers, every one of their vehicles had steering knobs on them.
Well, they do that a lot of times nowadays with handicapped people. You actually got something like you actually have something like a turn signal for accelerating and braking, so they don't have to use their feet. So everything's hands and everything's done with the steering column and nothing with your feet. It's crazy.
Exactly. I saw a handicapped van that literally could not be driven by someone that wasn't trained on how to use it because it had no pedals. Didn't have an accelerator pedal or a brake pedal. Nothing. It was all on the column. Don't be petting my guests.
I can pet Gemma if I want to.
Yeah, I don't mind. Talking of cars, I have my own kind of, car story, I guess. About 12 years ago, just before my mental health went down the absolute toilet, I was going to a friend's birthday party and I was really excited. It was a really nice summer day here in the UK. I was like, woohoo, going out for the night, going to get a bit wasted and have a good time with some of my friends. Yeah, like heck, that happened. End up being hit by what we call a people carrier car over here, which is a car that holds up to 8 people. And from what I remember of it, from my lack of memory, because my memory was completely shot to bits afterwards, I ended up being in the hospital for 4 days on life support because I got such bad injuries. Like I can actually show my wrist is actually bent from where I smashed it to smithereens. I have got 2 broken bones in this side. This side I had a fractured bone. I broke my elbow. I dislocated my shoulder. I had 20 stitches in my head down here and across the top of my head there where the impact of the car hit me. And to this day now everyone calls me Clumsy Car Gemma because, be careful, Gemma, near a car, you might end up smacking her. And I'm like, I didn't realize I've been hit at this time. I was in the hospital for 3 days on life support. I was completely gone. I didn't realize that I've been hit.
Oh boy.
And now every time I go near cars or if I'm out near the road filming, if I'm going out doing something, my parents are like, for God's sake, keep away from any cars. I'm like, I'm fine. It's 12 years ago. Like, get over it. I can deal with it. They're like, but what about if a car hits you again? I'm like, that was one freak accident. I happened to be near a main road. The car who actually hit me, I was told later on, was speeding and happened to be a police officer. So therefore, they're going to get away with it because when it tried to get to me getting my stuff back, it was their word against mine. Oh, well, we didn't see who. we didn't see who we hit because it was so quick. And I'm like, you must have seen me. I'm short. A police car, and it's a 4x4 off-street police car. You would have seen me. You would have seen me go boom into your windscreen. Like, you couldn't not help see me. I'm a short 4'11" female, for God's sake. It's like every time now, everyone's like, "Oh, Gemma's clumsy when it comes to cars. She can't be near a car without getting smacked." I'm like, "Shut up!"
Yeah, shut up.
I can deal with it. I do cars all the time.
Bill, back in what was it? It was 1976, I believe. I worked for a Chevy dealer in Hopkins, Minnesota. I did the detailing and the option package prep. You know, somebody come in and buy a car that's got all the stupid fender flares and pinstriping and crap that's got to be glued on at the dealership. They're not doing it at the factory. You know, I hated that business. You know, no, let them order the car that way. Don't make us guys put that shit on there. You know, because you know it's going to all peel off in a year. You know, but that was my job: detail them, have them nice spit shine. And part of my job was I had to take them out for a 2-mile. They call it a service run, a pre-sale service run. These guys would go through, check all the fluids, blah, blah, blah. They're just safety checking the whole damn car, right? And then they drop it down and they say, "Hey, Sty, this one's got to hit the road." And I got this whole checklist. I got to drive that car and check off everything about how it steers, how it, you know, the brakes are on top, and blah, 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 blah. Well, boy, did I get trouble. I almost lost my job. I take this brand spanking new Corvette out. Oh, those were fun to take out. You fill that form out when you get back to the lot, and you put they check, and if you exceed 6 miles, you're in big trouble, you know. But boy, I tell you, that's a quick 6 miles, man. In that new vet, right? I get back with that vet, and the customer's waiting. Customer comes out and says, "I'll take my car now." And I go, "Oh, you're going to enjoy your new car." You know, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, is tell the customer that we're taking good care of you. And then that guy goes, "I don't like how the seat belts are set up in these new vets." And I go, "Well, there's only one reason for those seat belts, you know." And he goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "Yeah, there's only one reason." He goes, "What's that?" And I said, "Always wear your seatbelt, because if you hit something with that son of a bitch, they want to find your pants still in the seat where your wallet's at, so they can figure out who was driving the car." That came back to haunt me. He went right to his salesman, told him what I said. He went right to the top boy in the whole place. And right out in the garage, everybody got to see Sty get a new ass chewed off. Yeah. Oh.
It's the truth.
But that's
You
the
didn't
way
want to hear the truth. You
It's
can't
like,
handle the truth.
can't handle the truth. You wrap one of those around you never see a Corvette wrapped around anything.
Mm-mm.
You just see it all through the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to wrap itself around anything. It's just going to fly everywhere. And that's why they put really awesome buckets in those cars with really awesome seat belts, and the floor pan and that bucket seat survives. And your ass, because you got your seatbelt on, and then they can pull your wallet out of that back pocket. Go, "Oh, look at who was driving," because they're not going to ID you any other way. I was a Corvette lover. I owned a Corvette for 1 week, 1969, and it was forest green with a black rag top. I bought it, drove it for, I think it was 3 days, and I come too close to coming off the road with it a couple of times, and I said, "It's for sale. It's for sale. I'm not going to hit nothing. I'm not rolling this puppy with a plastic body. Ain't happening. No, 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 no.
It's not plastic. It's fiberglass.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up. We call it plastic when you're driving them things around. It's fiberglass. It's fiberglass. Yeah, all them fibers are in you when it's all over. So, oh,
Hey Matt, it's good to see you. And I just read your comment in the chat. I can't actually drive due to the fact that over here in the UK they've taken autistic people's driving licenses away, and plus my anxiety disorders, and there is no way I would trust myself behind the wheel. Not a chance. No way.
Well, I've had some anxiety this week there, Gemma. So I probably shouldn't have been behind the wheel this week.
Me being behind the wheel of a car, no, probably is not a good idea, especially with how anxious I am most of the time. Yeah, I'd cause an accident. No, thank you.
well, and the nice thing too is where Jem is at. She's got public transportation and she's mastered it. She's mastered being able to
Yep.
get where she wants to go. And, you know, I feel bad for people that live in rural areas and there's no way for them to get anywhere to anything without being able to have a vehicle. You know, I feel for them. And Gemma does such a good job on mastering the public transportation system over there.
Yes, I try when it's not being crowded. Like recently, I had to go and pick up some Christmas presents for family, and trying to get into town was an absolute joke. The buses were crammed to capacity. I'm just like, oh no.
Yeah, Christmas season, everybody's out. Yeah, ouch.
I'm like, no, thank you.
I never thought of that. I remember last year you were talking about going into some of the stores that, you know, they're all lit up and flashing with the Christmas stuff, and they got loud Christmas music going at the same time, and it's full of people, and all their little brats are running all over. Poor Gemma's in there trying to filter out all of this garbage that is going to drive her anxiety through the roof. And yeah, I remember last year she did good though, guys. She did good. She got through the season. Yeah.
Yeah, so I try, and this year I ordered most of it online apart from the final 3 or 4 presents I had to get in the store. And everyone's like, oh, why are you avoiding going into the actual shops, Gemma? Like, enjoy the Christmas spirit. And I'm like, hello? Autism, anxiety, noise, people. No, thank you.
Right,
no.
right.
I'd rather be at home ordering it on my computer. At least I can get it to my house. Don't have to go out. I can get it from my front door, put it in my wardrobes, and be done with it. I don't have to worry about facing people. I can just bag it up, wrap it up, done.
An improvement to my channel. I've gotten wise. I keep a thermos of coffee near the studio. I don't have to get up and say, "Oh, I'll be back in a minute, guys. I get coffee." Yeah, I didn't just pour it now.
Especially having it in the green color too. It suits your outfit.
I got this. This is hard to believe. Now, this is back in the late 70s, early 80s. We had a tree service, and we hauled our logs out to this big, huge piece of property and pile all the, because it was Dutch elm diseased elm, and we had to burn it all. And we'd get this huge, big pile, and then we'd burn the whole thing. Well, the guy that ran our Caterpillar out there, he pushed that pile together while it was burning and stuff. He's a tough old guy. And he told me, he says, "Sty, I lost my thermos." He says, "If you come across my thermos, let me know," and this and that. Well, then he decided he's going to retire, and him and his wife moved to Florida. He was nowhere around. And I'm out there. I'm running the cat because I hadn't found anybody to replace him. And I looked down and I saw something silvery, just barely sticking out of the ground. And I stopped the cat. I get out there and I started digging around. And here's this big chrome Stanley thermos. The only thing broken on it was the cap. The cap was all cracked up.
Wow.
Otherwise, I took the top off, poured coffee out of it with smell of whiskey in it. put the lid back on. I'm looking at it, and it had bulldozer tracks, the full length of it. That thing had been run over by that big C9 cat dozens of times, and it still held the coffee. So I thought somebody kept insisting and pushing me. It was my ex-wife. You've got to get a hold of Stanley and tell them you found one of their thermoses that's been run over by a caterpillar. So finally, I found what their corporate address was, and I sent them Polaroid pictures of the site where I found it and where the indentation was, where I picked it out of the ground, and then pictures of the thermos standing there all the way around, you know. So there was about 8 pictures I threw in the letter, sent it to them. I was amazed because I thought it was fake at first, because I get a letter from Stanley, right from the corporation, and I thought, oh, wow, they must have thought that was cool. I open it up, and there's just 1-page letter in there and a check, a $500 check.
Sweet.
And they said, if you cash this check, we will assume that you are sending that thermos to this address. And they had this address there. And they said, if you do not cash the check, just tear it up and throw it away. And you can keep the thermos, but we would truly love to have that thermos. So I did. I cashed a damn check.
Oh, yeah.
And sent them the thermos. What the hell? I don't need no tractor-driven over thermos. For $500, you can have that back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, Stanley's got a lifetime warranty. You know,
They should have sent you a thermos and a $500 check. Just saying.
well, truly. Yeah. Make me buy a thermos out of that $500. You know,
Good evening, Kildare Survival. Good to see you.
hey, Kildare.
Hey, Kildare.
So I thought it was a done deal. I cashed a $500 check, enjoyed it, and sent them the thermos. And back in the days when shipping was cheap, and it was like 2 or 3 months later, I got a letter from them again. I thought, well, now what do they want? Open it up, and it was this big thank you letter, and that how much me telling the story of finding it and actually providing it to them so they could confirm the condition it's in that I said it was. They said, you helped our research and development department so much by providing that to us. They said, we really want to thank you, that the corporation really loves to be able to get real life tragic things that happen to our product to see, did we meet our standard or exceed it? And I thought, well, that's cool. They took the time to tell me what they did with it, you know. I thought I figured that one of their top officers in the corporation's got it sitting in his office and showing it off. Yeah. Look at what happened to my thermos. Yeah. That's one thing I found too, is don't sell anybody. Like out in Montana, I have to admit, 5 times I sold deer capes, the head, the skin off the head, deer capes and horns, just so somebody could take it back out east and say, look at the deer I shot. I sold one elk rack. I got quite a bit of money for that. But that poor dumb bastard, I felt bad afterwards, kind of, because the money was so good. It was just kind of felt bad for him. He says, I need an elk cape and a great elk rack. I said, I got it. I got it. I'll get it for you. Yeah, I'll get it for you. When he told me what he was willing to pay, I had the rack. It was a beautiful bull elk rack, I didn't take the cape off of that elk. So I just had the rack, and he wanted cape and rack, no matter what. So I'm shopping around asking all my buddies, anybody got an elk cape I can buy off of them? Anybody got an elk cape? This guy says, I've got an elk cape, but I don't know what the hell you'd want it for. And I said, I got to have a good elk cake. And he goes, well, come on over and get it. I get over and I look at it and I go, oh, geez, give me your skinning knife. He goes, for what? And I said, I got to cut buttons in the head of this cow elk so that it looks like it had horns. So some guy out east has got this big, beautiful stuffed elk head of a cow elk with big horns.
Nice.
and I can imagine that some of his buddies have elk hunted in the past, and he'll have them over to the office, and they'll go, "What is that?" I shot that elk over in northwestern Montana. He said, "Oh boy, there's a story behind that," and they're thinking, "Yeah, there sure is. Somebody screwed up putting your elk head together because female elk don't have horns." Yeah. I saw a white-tailed deer mount that was the same way. It was a doe with a buck's rack. And I started laughing. I told the guy, I said, that's a doe with horns. And he goes, it is not. I said, look at those big batting eyelashes on that thing and the narrow jowls on it. It's so petite. I said, and the neck, you notice the neck is slender? I said, looking at those horns, if that was a buck, that neck should be all swollen out. He's got wrinkles. He's got 2 extra chins, and his face is fat, and his eyes are all, the eyelashes are all short and scrubby. I said, that's not a buck. That's a doe with horns. Oh, he was upset. He took it off the wall. Yeah. I don't know what he ever did to his taxidermist, but yep, it was the prettiest buck I ever saw, though. Yeah, I get a kick out of it when you go into some of these guys' places and they're just, holy God! You walk in and you go, "Geez, I'm surrounded by critters."
Right.
I mean, every square inch of their place is covered with trophies. The Byerlys, they own the Byerlys food stores, and old man Byerly he worked safaris all over the world, and he had every damn critter that creepy crawled or wanted to eat you mounted in his game room. His game room was 28 feet across and 72 feet long, and the couch was zebra hide couch with elephant ear and side tables with a full saltwater mounted crocodile on the floor with a big oval glass table on his back. I mean, that's the kind of, and that was, you walked in that room and you go, holy God, I'm in the zoo and there's no bars. You know, if you walked in a room of all the critters he had in there and they were alive, guess what? You ain't walking out. They're going to take you out with a shovel and a wheelbarrow. Yeah. Because you're going to turn into some kind of poop.
I had a dream recently within like the last week or so that I was out and there were lions all over the place. And we're just trying to get rid of the stupid thing, get away from the stupid things. But yeah.
Yeah,
Funny how things trigger something in your memory.
That's it. All of a sudden you're in a situation where you're going, that's not even possible. Yeah, that's sweet of you, Lorna. Oh.
Thank you, Lorna.
That is so sweet. Thank you. I all day yesterday I was living through the day with a huge dose of humbleness. I mean, people were so gracious and giving on Christmas Day's stream. But I got to tell you, Spicy, you know that $50 you gave me to double up and drink 2 of those?
Huh?
shots. I spent it already.
Good for you.
Guess who I spent it on?
Oh,
Granny.
you buy her for some more Fireball?
Yeah.
No, I wanted her to continue to like me.
Oh,
I
so you're
sent
buying
her.
your friends now. Okay.
I sent her. She'll get it before the 14th of January, but I sent her a protective device in case anything happens out in the shed. She can have that close by. Whether she has a heater or not, she'll make it through the night.
You don't want me to die.
I don't want her.
It's not a protective device.
I sent her a fleece Sty North blanket. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Aw.
She needed one of those life alerts. I'm falling and I can't get up.
Get up.
Yeah.
She would have been saying, I found the door, but I can't get out.
Yeah. But she couldn't get up either.
Yeah.
I think I'll put a string on that thing so I can pull the latch down.
That it was funny. My mother had one of those. She wore it around her neck, you know. She had fallen down so damn many times, it's pitiful. And I always hurt herself. Well, one time she fell and it was bad. She hit the corner of a coffee table and she ended up taking her eye out. And she's laying on the living room floor. She managed to crawl to the telephone. Her phone, when they got there, her phone was just blood covered. I mean, it was terrible. It looked like a murder scene in there. Why in the hell did she crawl to the telephone? She's got a life alert, right? Well, when she figured it out, she couldn't see the phone because her other good eye had blood all over in it. She couldn't see. And then she realized, oh, I can use my life alert. Oh, that's good. She pushes it. And the operator gets on. This is life alert. What's your emergency? And she goes, I've fallen and I think I knocked my eye out. And she says, I can't see and I can't get up. And they said, all right, you are at, and they give her her address, and we'll have an ambulance on its way immediately. And she goes, no, just call my son and daughter and they'll come over and they'll help me out. She's trying to tell Life Alert that no, don't bother yourselves. Just call my son and daughter. They'll come and take care of me. You know?
Yeah, it's like phone a friend.
Yeah, phone a friend. Yeah. I think she thought those people were like the operator, you know. Operator, will you call this number for me? You know, and
Those old people like that can be like that. She's batting me.
Hey, Nicholas Green, buddy, there he is. Thank you for the raid the other day. That was awesome on Christmas Day.
Talking about life alerts that you guys have been talking about, when I first moved into my apartment here, I went into the bathroom for the first time behind me, and I thought it was an extra light switch. I went to pull it, and my dad was like, no. Don't pull that, Gemma. I go, what's that? He goes, it's a alarm for, like, if you hurt yourself or something happens to you, you can pull it. And it was installed for the previous people who lived here were elderly people. And luckily, my dad was like, do you see that orange light that's flickering on the top of it? Because it's only for emergencies. You don't pull it. I'm like, I was this close to actually pulling it, because I thought it was an actual light switch for the bathroom. I'm like, So now I have to tuck one light switch behind my radiator in the bathroom, and the other light switch is a dimmer one. So I'm like, dimmer for the actual one I need, and then that's the emergency one. So I have to make sure I don't touch the wrong one.
Yeah, I did that. I contracted to manage this big apartment building in town here, and I went in there and they had painted the bathrooms, and the buggers painted right over that flashing light. And I saw the cord hanging there, and I looked up and I go, well, that's painted over. The system must be disabled then, you know. So I pulled the cord out of the wall. Holy Jesus, I ended up with the fire department there. Everybody showed up. It's just like some old fart fell down in the building. The Cindy's got a 55-inch TV. Uh-huh. Isn't that what she said? Oh no. What did she get? 50 inch. 50 inch.
She sent me a picture of that, but no.
I have a 45-inch in my front room, in my lounge behind me over there. I have a 45-inch TV.
I got a 65-inch like Nick does, and my 65-inch.
Whoa, that wouldn't fit in my front room. That's too small.
It's only 7 feet away from my studio here, so that's my computer screen. It is awesome to use as a computer screen because I have to actually turn my head to look at things because your vision's just not wide enough to get the detail of everything. So I can look at the panel or I can look at the chat.
I've been thinking about getting one of those curved monitors. My daughter's got one for gaming.
Yeah.
Oh, the picture on that is gorgeous, and it curves. And I'm thinking,
I have a curved TV.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
For certain things, they're awesome because I got a friend that's got one too, and the only thing he doesn't like about it is you can't get too far away from them, otherwise they lose their effect. You got to be close enough to them so that you have it's somewhat within your peripheral vision. Still, you want your vision to be like this at it, where if you're sitting way back, your vision's more like this. And you lose that nice rolling effect. You lose that. But I sat like 8 feet from his, sitting there watching it, and while he's playing one of the car racing, I don't remember which game it was, but he's playing a car racing game. And when that car would go around the corners, I'm going, come around the next corner. Because of that curved TV, you got that peripheral thing going on, and you're, oh, here comes a curve, and you start leaning with the car going around. Yeah. Had a good effect. I kind of liked it.
Yeah, I think they're good because, especially like for me, when I'm watching a lot of the American TV programs I watch, because a lot of the programs are filmed in widescreen, the curved TV actually captures everything, so you can see not just the scene that the person's in, but you can see the actual background. So if I'm watching CSI or something of that genre, you can actually get to see everything that's happening, and it's really good on a curved TV because it actually appears closer than what it actually is on the screen. It's really cool.
I tell you, my 65-inch, it fills my vision.
I bet it does. Well, even this one, like if I were to take what we're looking at right now, and I'm going to get darker, I make us bigger. Of course, I lose the chat on the screen here. Of course, right. I'm darker too. But this looks great. I mean, we've got the resolution's good. Granny comes in nice, crisp, and clear.
Yeah.
And
she's looking at you like, what you looking at?
I don't want you to come in. I don't want to come in crisp and clear. She says.
Yeah. Don't be doing that.
Is that better, Bill?
Kitty. Tell me, kitty.
I tell you, the one thing I extremely miss. I mean, extremely miss was I don't remember the total lumens, but it was in the 15 to 20,000 lumen range projector, and I had a 208-inch screen and home theater, and I could sit in that center of that home theater with full surround in the whole theater, and I'd sit there. I tell you what, the best movie I ever watched on that huge screen, and that projector was so good. Everything was crisp. I mean, it was beautiful. Yeah, I mean, it was cinematic. But the best movie was the Titanic, the new one, with DiCaprio, But when that boat is breaking in half, I'm sitting there in that surround sound, and it's right there. I mean, at 208 inches, you got to literally look around the screen to catch it all. It's so big in front of you. But as that boat broke in half, every single plank on the deck of that boat, when it popped up, you can hear it and feel it in the room. Snap, crack, snap, snap, crack, crack.
Cool.
There was shit going on that I never saw in that movie before. And I just like, oh my God.
Good night, Chasing the Reaper.
Hey, good night, James. So I invited some friends over, and we're all having drinks upstairs, and we're all in the living room chatting, having drinks, and somebody says, how about we go hang out in your home theater? And I said, oh yeah, let's go down there. I got a movie I want you guys to watch. Now, I don't remember exactly which one it was, but I think it was Journey to the Center of Earth 3D. And when them dinosaurs come at you, man, them suckers are coming right out of the screen. And so we're down there, and I start the movie, and you would not have believed. I've got 7 other adults in the theater watching. 2 people, this gal and this other guy, literally climbed over their theater seats because they thought that shit was going to hit them. I mean, everybody's wearing their 3D glasses. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, you got a dinosaur right at the end of your nose going to bite your face off. And man, they come right over the tops of their seats because they had these actual, they were video chairs that they're half moon shaped. And I had it tiered, so I had 6 per tier, and they're real comfy. You can sit down. They had armrests, but yeah, they went right over that. Those chairs went right over backwards. They're just like, oh my God! And with that big home theater with the surround sound, you had to sit towards the core of the theater. That was the best. You'd be sitting there watching some horror movie, and you never catch it on TV, standard audio. You never caught it. And you're sitting there watching, and it's one of those things like, don't go in there. Don't go in there. And all of a sudden you can hear behind them footsteps coming up, sneaking up. You know something's behind them because you heard it. And it was so freaky to watch something and go, I never heard that before. There's something sneaking up. And you start looking over your shoulder because you hear the footsteps behind you coming up into the theater, and then all of a sudden there they are going nuts, and you just like, yeah, I miss that. That's, as far as tech things go, that is the one thing I miss. I wish I could have another. I gotta win the lotto though to have that back. I'm not investing that kind of money ever again. It was worth it, though. It was worth it. My grandkids, the ones that got to experience, they still hate me for it. That I got rid of it. Grandpa, we used to love it. We could have pizza, popcorn. You had that big candy counter, just like your candy counter was bigger than the theaters. And we didn't have to pay for none of it. We could just have it. Yeah. I don't want to go to the theater with a bunch of strangers, but I want to go to the theater. They just won't let me go there with the people I want. Yeah. Yeah, raining on surround sound. Yeah.
Going to the theatre seems such a long time ago. I haven't been to the theatre since, I think, end of January was the last time I got to go before they shut them all.
Shut them all down. Yeah.
Over here, they're not opening again till my local theatre, which is about 20 minutes walk from my house, is shut till April.
Till April, for sure. Till April.
Until April, but it was meant to be reopening in January. Then they put out an announcement a couple of weeks ago saying they're closed till April. It'll probably be end of April that they'll reopen, hopefully, if the guidance allows them to. But they've been shut since January. Yeah,
the last time I actually been in a theater was almost a year before the COVID thing started. And so it's been almost, I think around January, February, it will have been 2 years since I've been in a theater.
Wow, that's a long time.
And our theater is actually open, but our theater, their guidance from the state of Wisconsin. You go to the theater, let's say you're a family of 4 and you go to the theater here. Yeah, you can see the movie, but guess what? There's 5 seats in between each of you, even though you're from the same family.
Oh, okay.
Yep. They've strapped the seats so that every 6th seat will fold down. All the others, they're strapped. You can't fold them down.
Oh.
And so even if you went with your spouse, you're not getting sit with them. They're going to be sitting 5 seats away from you. Yeah. So now actually is when I probably should go. It won't be crowded.
Yeah.
Be a great time to go if you were still married too.
Oh, if I was still married, I'd be going now. Yeah. Come on, honey, we're going to the movie. Why? You can't sit within 6 feet of each other. Exactly. You sit next to me all the time. I'm going to go to the theater where you got to sit down there. Yeah.
The last time I went to the theatre, I ended up having a kind of sensory overload reaction to a film. Me and my friend went to watch a really good film we were really looking forward to. And we got halfway through the film towards the end. And all of a sudden I started feeling really dizzy and shaky. And I was like, I need to get out of here now. If I don't get out of here, I'm going to completely lose it. And I got outside. I literally just kaboom, fell, hit my head, hit my face.
Ouch.
Scraped all my arms. I'm like, what the hell's happening to me? And I ended up getting home in a taxi with my friend, and I just passed out. She laid on the sofa, and 3 hours later, she was still sitting there. So, Gemma, are you all right? I was like, what do you mean? She goes, you have no idea. You've been asleep for 3 hours. I was like, no. So I ended up calling my auntie, who's a nurse, to come around and check me. And she's like, why the hell didn't you call me as soon as you got home? I was like, because I didn't think I was ill. And she's like, oh, so you are unwell, Gemma. I was like, well, now I know that. I've been out with the count for 3 hours.
Right.
So
hey,
she
Matt.
took me to the hospital in the end and got checked out. But that was weird.
Yeah. Hey, Matt, that's all right. I don't mind if somebody puts a single plug in for themselves here, on the channel. It's when they're repetitive and keep saying, hey, yeah, come on over. Yeah. You throw a single plug out for yourself. I don't have an issue with it because that's one thing we do here is that, we follow each other. We want to get to know each other, and we can't know each other if we don't go to the other person's channel and visit. You're right. That's good.
And Matt's just getting started, so Matt only has like 19 subscribers. I just went over there and checked him out. So.
Did you? Good for you.
Yep.
I've got them tagged. That's what I do.
So
after my streams is go.
It looks like he's a singer. He's up. I see someone up on stage. I don't know that. It looks like he's a singer.
I'll
definitely check your channel out, Matt, after the stream. I'll go and have a look at it.
Facebook jail.
I try to support new YouTubers, and I try and help them out, gain friends, and it's one of my passions. I try and help people.
Yeah, we love new people to the channel. We love new people to our channels, and we like helping them grow. Just got to be here, be cool, and and everything works out. So you'll pick up some folks.
Hey, Human Outdoors, how are you?
Newman Outdoors. I've been meaning to talk to you, Newman.
Don't believe him, Newman. Don't listen to him.
Yeah, there you go, Granny's great. Watch it. Yeah, it's great to see you, Newman.
Hello, Newman.
No, Newman.
Hello.
Newman.
Oh, Gawani is saying that him and Matt were part of the raid the other night, probably from Nicholas Green.
Yeah,
that's good.
Oh, I didn't have to pronounce the name.
Some people from Nicholas Green that'll be sticking.
Yeah,
that's great.
It's wonderful that they're coming back. It's great to see. It's great to see these guys because, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, because sometimes from those raids, sometimes you get people that have subscribed to your channel, but they never view and they never see them in the chat ever again. So it's
Right.
great. And then someone comes back and they find interest in what you're doing and they keep coming back. That's awesome, guys.
Right. You know, and I've had some issues. In fact, that was from Nicholas's channel in the past, and I'm not going to mention the names, but I had folks come over and then they messaged me on Facebook and said, you know, I liked hanging out on your stream, but I thought you were an outdoor channel. And I told them, I said, did you go to my homepage and look at my playlist? And both of the individuals got back to me and they said, sticking around. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff to look at outdoors wise. So, and I'll show up in the occasional, and yeah, now they're regulars. They're regulars. I see them. They comment on my videos and they'll pop into the chat once in a while. And yeah, and that's it. Is you gotta visit to really find out. Yeah, the Christmas one. It was so awesome when all you guys from Nick's popped over, and as total surprise. Because we all seem cool. Well, hey, we're cool with anyone.
Anyway, Granny's cool, and Gem's kind of cool too. Me,
I'm just uniquely weird.
Gem is cool. She just doesn't know it because she has autism. So
I'm uniquely weird. I'm happy with that. I get it.
Yeah.
I have a weird brain set.
Yeah.
I'm
well,
good
thank
with that.
you, Nicholas, for introducing us to him. Yeah.
I get to kick everything Spicy's backside sometimes because I get to motivate him and go, oi.
Yeah, you got a good foot for such a short person.
Yes.
Bill is a bit of a butthead.
I got a big mouth
for him.
Yeah, you definitely should not come to my channel and subscribe to my channel. That would be a big. You would not like it over there whatsoever.
I may be short, brother, but I've got a big mouth, so I can come at you with my mouth instead of my height.
That's just, that's great. That's great. Yeah. Yeah. We're all weird in our own way. Yeah, just like my theme song starts out.
Hey, Shane.
We all have a story.
Shane, what's up, man? How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I didn't.
Shane, it is awesome to see you. What's that?
I said I didn't have a story, but I do now.
You do now.
You do.
We
want to hear the whole story. I don't think we still haven't heard the whole story.
I'm saving the whole story for down the road. I'm telling you.
I heard the whole story.
I want to let things settle down and
I feel like I know the whole story, but I haven't heard the whole story.
Oh boy, you don't know the whole story.
I feel like I know the whole story.
Go on the outdoors.
When she told me the whole story, boy, it was enlightening. I mean, I learned something I would have never ever thought of. Yeah, I did. Oh, yeah.
That's why people that don't drink regularly shouldn't drink like that on a night like that. Ooh.
No kidding.
Ooh, yeah. I told her I've rewatched about an hour segment of that 12 hours 3 times now, and I was hurting so bad this afternoon. My guts were hurt so bad. I was laughing so hard. I told her, I said, there's a section in there that within about 10 minutes, she dropped about 9 F-bombs. And there was 5 of them right in a row, just boom, 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 boom. And I was laughing so hard in here.
Had been right after those doubles.
Yeah, I think it was either right after. Here's what really caught me. I go back. I wanted to watch her drink the doubles, right? And I was close, but not quite. I was about 10 minutes before she drank the doubles. And while she's talking, she's drinking them damn things. She drank 3 of them in about a 10-minute period. And then you said, do a double. And then she did those doubles. So in about 15 minutes, she did 5 of them buggers. No wonder it hit her. I mean,
like 1.5, right?
I'm sitting there like, what are you doing, girl? Don't do the doubles. You just did a triple. I mean, don't know.
She went from 0 to 60.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yep, definitely.
Yep.
I think it was 0 to 160.
Yeah. I mean, she may be old, folks, but she ain't slow.
Oh,
Yeah, it's just, yeah. Yeah, I told her, I said I felt so bad because I did not want a Christmas Day stream with casualties.
She's not dead. She
Right.
might wish she were dead at some point, but she's not.
Well, casualties, I'm not saying KIAs, but I'm saying casualties.
Oh, that would be interesting too.
A KIA?
That
could, yeah. I keep telling people, they keep trying to give me these pepper crap things and stuff. They just want to see me go eat. And then I get a viral video. I get a viral video out of the deal, and I can't even enjoy it.
Right.
no,
And you guys, if I'm sitting here,
no, Bill, no
that
point.
stream would go for 6 freaking hours before somebody'd say, "Is Sty froze up?" They'd let my dead ass just sit here while they have a great time. They just, yeah, I can see it now.
We just be sharing it out. I think Sty died. Twitter.
Oh
YouTube,
shit!
I
think Sty died.
Sometimes I do worry about you, brother Phil, when you're doing your streams, and I see you doing all these different challenges. Like a couple 3 weeks ago, I know you were doing this really hot challenge. I could see your face dropping, and I'm sitting in the chat going, no, this isn't good. And I'm sitting going, do I say something to someone? I remember talking to Sty in the chat, and I'm like, Uncle Sty, I'm a bit worried about how this is going right now, because I can see Phil and his face is going like this, and I was like, what do I do?
Yeah.
If you see me on the camera, I'm doing good, because I've been off camera before, down on the ground, where I have to lift an arm up every 20 minutes, so you guys still know I'm freaking alive.
That one had me. That one had me kind of on the edge of my seat, like son of a bitch.
And I was sat there in the chat going, do I call someone? Do I try and get someone to...
Don't ever call anyone.
talk to you? Because I was really worried. I could see like your face dropping and your eyes were streaming, and I was like,
I've thought of that, because I tell you what, there's a couple of folks over in the UK that would see somebody in a kind of questionable condition, and they're asking, should I call somebody? I'll call somebody. And I kept thinking was, what a topic. Yeah, I was having a rough time in the stream, and the cops showed up and said, why does somebody in the UK know you need us? That's a little weird. We got a phone call from London that says you're dying in Michigan. Something weird is going on here. What a topic, man. That would just go out of hand. I could have fun with that. But I gotta take a quick look at, there was a comment here.
Hey, Dr. Smith, how are you?
Lorna, Lorna's saying, that she's got 2 weeks of streams to catch up on. Well, Christmas Day stream would take 2 weeks to get through. It's 12 hours long. But I'll tell you what, go to the 7-hour and 30-minute mark and just start watching from there. And keep your eyes wide open for this, this corner over here of the panel. Oh, I'm not saying names. I'm just saying watch that corner over there.
There are more than one people in that corner.
Yep. 7 hours and 30 minutes into it. The whole thing changes.
Goes all to hell.
we were warming up for the extra 4 hours I streamed. I spent
Don't
2 weeks
get it.
telling everybody it's not happening. We're cutting off at 8 hours. No, 12 hours and 6 minutes.
Yep. The best,
mean,
the best video is after that
Good to see you,
time.
Dr. Smith. How are you?
Well, and that's it. Is the real excitement on Christmas Day happened after the 7th hour. The first 7 hours was all just fun and games, and the
Great
last
time.
5 hours was craziness, just Christmas craziness. And,
What time did y'all end?
well, it was
Oh,
12 midnight. It was 12 midnight. 12:06.
I
Central.
was still out here until 1 something.
So you were out there while we were still having things going on.
Yeah,
Oh
she was
boy.
passed out drooling on the floor in her own vomit.
No.
Shh.
No.
Shh.
No. Don't get crude and rude, Phil. No. That let's just say that she got an answer to the problem that she didn't expect. That's
It was cold. It was so
It
cold.
was cold. It was cold on that stinking bare floor with no insulation under it, nothing
And
to
the
keep
wind
the
blowing.
wind from blowing.
The she shed.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
do something.
Got it. We're gonna all have to. She's gonna have to have a stream. We're all gonna have to go over there and super chat her to be able to sheet around the shed and insulate.
Oh Lord.
Well, I'm sure
Upgrade for the
I can send her some insulation via Home Depot and send it right to her house.
It
There you
wasn't bad,
go.
but when I went out of it, when I left this world, the propane heater went off. It ran out of heat. It ran out of fuel.
Is that the one right next to the electric heater?
Yeah.
I forgot about the electric heater. I didn't even think
That
that.
was
I was so far gone.
when you told us that oh yeah, I forgot that I had the electric heater there. I just oh god, I was just girl, yeah, you hurt me. I may not have suffered in the same way, but I did suffer all day yesterday and half of today on this whole Christmas thing.
Oh, but that was
Man,
all.
my guts are tender. My guts are tender.
The
from
heater
laughing.
right there. All I had to do was turn over and turn it on.
Didn't have the wherewithal.
No,
I was in some other world.
I think this year Christmas for me was rather strange because finally my mum decides to accept that I struggle with Christmas because of all the noise and the smells and different things. And this year she actually came I was in her house, in her kitchen, and she looks at me, she goes, "You're not liking this, are you, Gemma?" I'm like, I can't stand it. All the kitchen smells of different foods. There's different drinks that she got out on the table. And she said, you really don't like this. And then she got out the crackers. That's what drove me nuts. I'm like, if there's one thing I can't stand at Christmas time, it's the crackers. Why people have to be insistent on pulling them and wearing the silly, noisy hats. And like my brother thought it was hilarious to deliberately scrunch the hat onto his head in front of me. He's like, it's like a noise. I'm like, please, I can't stand high-pitched noise like that. It really drives me mental. And he decides to come next to my head and literally go like this at me. And I'm like, dude, I want to whack you. Get away from my head before I seriously want to smack you. It's just like,
yeah.
so annoying. That's why I was glad to get home, and luckily I saw that you were on the side. So I was like, yay, I can chill out now. I can get away from the noise of my mum's house and get home and be in comfort. So it's much better.
Yeah, I did not, I didn't expect the Christmas week to go the way it really did. Because what was that, Wednesday night? Ann had an after party. And, oh, yeah, man. I thought that was going to ruin me for having anything to drink on Christmas Day. But, oh, no, I had to have to do a repeat on Christmas Day. Now I've got New Year's Eve coming up Thursday night. I'm still going to be around the campfire the difference Thursday night is we're running that bugger at least till after midnight. We got to let the clock turn over my time. And the nice thing about it is we get to do Eastern time during that stream too. So we get to do cheer up twice. Yeah. Hey JCT, great to see you. Great to see you.
I shall definitely be coming to see you on New Year's Eve, that's for sure. So I shall be home alone all New Year's Eve, so it'd be nice to have something to do.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, make sure to stop.
And you'll have already hit New Year's Eve. I mean, hold on. If Sty goes live at 8, that's when Gemma. No, Gemma's already had New Year's Eve. It's 1 o'clock. You go live.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 5 hours ahead of Eastern time and 6 hours ahead of Central time.
So it should be 2 hours ahead of you. So yeah.
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 2 hours after midnight, anyways.
2 hours after midnight when I go on.
Yeah.
Well, no, it won't. It'd be. Yeah, it would. Yeah, it would. If it's 6 hours. Well, no, I go on at 7.
I'm 5 hours ahead of Eastern time, 6 hours ahead of
Central.
I'm 8 my times. Yeah, I'm really screwing now.
Central 7 plus 6. So it'll be 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it'll still be an hour after.
Yeah. Yeah, you better bring a lot of chapstick. There's going to be a lot of COVID spreading that night, I bet you. Yeah.
Not here that there won't be, because the UK were on the tightest lockdown they could have put us on, so we're not allowed to go out anywhere. If we do, we get £1,000 fine.
Damn,
that's insane.
Yeah, that's not happening.
See, they're finding out over here. That's the difference in the national governing laws
the fact they've
between us and Europe.
The streets actually waiting for people who aren't meant to be outside. And if they catch you outside, you're done.
Wow. See, I just watched they had a little video clip. It wasn't on YouTube though, but I read their full article on the ramifications of fining individuals on a COVID basis, and they have not got a case that's been won yet, or that the government has won against fining somebody for exercising a constitutional right. Even the lower courts are saying, kill it, go away. No, we're going to dismiss this case. We're not giving any decision. Dismiss, boom, go home, you guys. Because they don't want to go there, because the minute they take your right away from walking out your damn door, that's martial law in this country. They cannot do it. They cannot stop you from leaving your residence. You have that right as a citizen of this sovereign nation to be able to leave your premises, and it's backfiring. And what it is that they're saying, we're hoping certain people just give in for it and then pay a fine, and that's the problem, is too many people are willing to just pay up instead of saying, no, you damn it, I had the right to go out and get my mail. You can't tell me I can't go out. I walked my dog down the street and back, and you're going to give me a fine for that? Bullshit. Not here in the U.S. Ain't happening.
Yeah, Matt just said about Aussies will be in the future. Yeah, Matt, I have cousins in Australia. They're 8 hours ahead of me. So for New Year's, when they Skype me, they'll already be in there New Year's Day. So when they ring me, I'll be in New Year's Eve still. So yeah, they're 8 hours ahead of me.
Yeah. I always ask my Aussie friends and my friends from New Zealand, what's tomorrow like? Can you fill me in? What's tomorrow like?
Yeah, I Skyped my cousins on Christmas Day, and they were at the beach. They were just coming home in their car. They had me up on a little dashboard thing. Well, what time is it there? They go, 8:10 at night, Gemma. What time is it there? And I'm like, it's just after lunchtime for us. They go, oh, we're so full. We've had nothing but barbecue food all day. I'm like, oh, really? That's making me feel hungry.
And isn't it fun too? You're chatting with somebody, an Aussie or a New Zealander, and they're going, "Oh yeah, we're down at the beach," and you're going, "It's December. No, it's summer here. Yeah. Oh, damn it. That's right. It's their summer. They're going through their summer. We're going through
Yeah, and it's really hot for them over there. Because my uncle had t-shirt and shorts on when I saw him. I'm like, it's December. What the hell you got shorts on for? He goes, Gemma, it's summer here, and I'm like, over here it's freezing. It's like cold.
Yeah.
Freezing here too.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we got Christmas Day, so we got a couple inches out on the ground, so it looks looks pretty out there.
That's us today. We got it's snowing out there now. I don't know how much more we got, but early this afternoon we got enough of a dusting that everything turned white out there. They didn't plow the roads or nothing. They ain't gonna plow till Monday. Tomorrow. So yeah, it's just pristine. You look out there and it's just everything's white and
Well, we're having a heat wave tonight. It's 36 degrees.
oh yeah.
All week long, we're in the 30s as our high temperatures here in Michigan. Matter of fact, towards the end of the week, we have a day that's 41 degrees.
Oh wow.
So I'm fine with that in December, man.
Ours
I
is,
didn't live in the snow. I'm good.
other than one day, ours is in the mid-20s throughout the week,
Yeah, you're a little further north.
and the chances of snow, yeah. Oh no, tomorrow and Tuesday are our coldest days, 10 and 16 degrees for highs. So the -3
Was it Granny's at 36?
36. I mean,
But she's got upper 50s and 60s in the forecast too.
yeah.
You put that shit down, bitch.
That's my temperature right now.
Yeah, well, one's about 32 degrees our temperature.
Yep.
So.
Yep. She's right. She's almost right at freezing point.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm 18 degrees. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, freaking green
Yeah,
screen.
good luck with that, right?
Yeah, good luck with that shit. Yeah.
What's
But
Michigan say?
We're 18 degrees. But
By
like
10
Phil
a.m.
said,
this
We're
morning,
raining.
it's gonna be -1.
It's raining here right now. I thought I heard the gutters and stuff. 37 degrees and raining.
there you go. Yep. See, and even at 18 degrees, as far as I'm
Hi,
concerned,
Chuck.
I mean, the last couple of days of December, 18 degrees, I'm not complaining. And
Nope.
not a ton of snow, manageable snow. 18 degrees. I'm good with that. That's a good end of December. I hope January stays that way.
What's everything I said? All the 30s. There's a 41-degree day there
Yeah.
Wednesday, but all the highs are in the 30s. Lows are in the 20s, which is fine. That's nighttime.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be. So, hey, I'm good with that in December.
What do you mean that's the way it should be? That's the way it is where you are.
How you
Here,
doing, Chuck?
that's the way it should be.
Well, 3 years ago, I get those Facebook reminders. 3 years ago, we had like 8 inches of freaking snow, and we were out cleaning and moving cars. So I'm glad I'm not doing that. Knock on wood.
Uh-huh. Right,
Yep.
right. You don't want
Don't
them
do that
heavy
shit.
damn snows piling in.
And we had those winters where it's like that, and then of course when you go out there to do it, it's 28 degrees, the wind's blowing, it feels like it's 11. We've been out there when the wind chill was below 0.
Oh yeah.
Moving cars and stuff. That sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Oh yeah. I just looked out there. It quit snowing. So we just got a nice white dusting. I won't have to do anything with my truck. Just take the brush and brush it off, and off I go. I wish I could tolerate cold like I used to. Man, I see guys, they all got their fish shacks out on the Swamigan Bay here on Superior already. And yeah, I used to love sitting out there on Sundays. That was my fishing day all winter, Sunday.
Our stuff's not froze over. We were froze over at one point, like a month ago, and then it all melted, and we're not froze over now.
Wow.
You got places where it's really thin, but you're not froze over. There's no shanties anywhere in Michigan right now. No, well, anywhere where I live, anywhere where I train.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now
Lorna,
here,
it's really cold here. Lorna, by 9 a.m. it's going to be -1. So at the moment we're 1 degree and it goes down to -1.
So slightly below freezing. That's not bad.
yeah.
It's cold
Now,
enough for me.
now from my window, I can look out to what they call the Bayfield Peninsula, which is 8 miles straight across the ice, and it's ice all the way across. We got ice all the way across the bay now.
Yeah. What is it, drivable?
I wouldn't drive a vehicle on
Yeah,
it.
no.
Now,
snowmobile? No?
I would say if you're staying at about the 4 mile mark towards inland, you could snowmobile across safely. Anything from that 4 mile mark out to that 8 mile mark, it could be sketchy. You know, I wouldn't want to risk it, you know. But with the temperatures we're getting this week, it's making ice out there. There's not a lot of snow on it, so it's making ice. See, that's the worst thing here that we worry about is you'll get 3-4 inches of ice, and then you get a lot of heavy snows, and people will drill a hole maybe 1,000 feet off the shoreline, and they're going, "Whoa, we got 2.5 feet of ice," and it all looks the same. Oh no, it's getting thinner the farther out you get, where all that snow load is on top of the thinner ice. And that ice, it's not making ice because it's all insulated.
Yep.
And yeah, the snow amount is the same, but the ice is thinner because it wasn't thick when the snow fell on it. And, Jim fell, Gemma fell off. Yeah.
Yeah, I love you, Gemma. Gemma is that, you know, when she's done, click, she's gone.
Yeah.
I love that girl.
Yeah, she's great. She's great. Yeah, good old winter.
Oh yeah, the northern climates. Unlike Granny, she's in West Virginia. 30 degrees is cold as shit to her.
No, it's not. 30 degrees feels great. It's 10 degrees, and God only knows what the wind chill was.
The only thing as far as winter is concerned in West Virginia, I can't stand is you do not want to be driving tractor trailers through that frickin' windy ass mountain roads if there's snow on them. The coal haulers don't give a shit. They're doing 50 miles an hour on a road that you're creeping 25 and you're still scared. The coal haulers, it's just, and you learn, get out of their way. Just get out of their damn way. They're moving. They ain't slowing down for your ass.
Them coal haulers are crazy.
And those damn hairpin curves through them damn mountains. Thank God I didn't own the trailer and the tires on it every time I hauled out there, because the side of the trailer and them tires were all scratched and tore up from rubbing the guardrails around the damn corners. You got her just.
I was getting all the fingerprints and the filth off of it.
Yeah, spotless.
Looks pretty good.
Hey there, Alexander. Watch out for the bull haulers too.
Yeah, any of them vehicles that got a lot of weight, man.
Yeah.
Although they don't stop very quickly. I saw that, my daughter got married about 3 years ago. A lot of semis that were on their sides that day. And, you go from doing, 65 miles an hour in a 75 or 70 mile an hour zone. And then suddenly you come across cars that are completely stopped. You're effed.
I don't know how many times, but several times I actually flattened the tires. When I don't mean they lost their air. I flattened the treads on the tires of my trailer. I'd lock up the damn trailer brakes, and all you saw was smoke rolling off the back of that truck. Trying to slow myself down, and you ease on the tractor brakes because you don't want to slam your tractor brakes on. You jackknife the damn thing. So you let the ass end drag, and then you're putting as much brake on as you can without locking your wheels up. And no, they do not slow down very fast.
Mm-mm.
And I've had to lock them up because of situations. And then as I'm driving, I'm feeling this weird vibration. And then I slow down to pull off, check to see what's vibrating so much. And then I can really tell, and I got the trailers going thump, 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 thump. Pull off, and there's a patch about a foot long on my tire that's flat. And that's from being locked up, dragging down the highway with 80,000 pounds of truck. Just burns the rubber right off the damn tires. Yeah. Yeah. Jake, if you're not on wet roads or snow and ice. More guys that put their tractor trailers in the ditch using a Jake and it's in slick conditions. That it's too much too fast if they don't have enough weight in their truck. That a lot of guys just don't use their Jakes properly. And I like Jake brakes, but oh man, I never turn my Jake on in no snowy conditions, any slippery stuff. Yeah. Rebecca, our Christmas was fun. Just ask Granny. All right, terrible.
What she can remember of it.
I remember to a point of knowing I had to get off the internet. I remember to that point.
She remembers to the point of no return. Well, I'll return tomorrow.
And then waking up an hour later.
Yeah.
Thinking, oh God, I am really amped tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, Bradley, yeah. 18-wheelers, man. Yeah. I had a buddy in northwestern Montana. He had an old Army deuce and a half that he tricked out, and he put a small Detroit V8 diesel engine in it, and did he trick that thing out. He had this huge winch on the front, another one on the back, and I watched him drag 18-wheelers way down these embankments out there in Montana, drag them back up to the highway, and he'd cable that deuce and a half of his to some big ass boulder on the mountainside or to a big tree that takes 3 men to reach around, and his truck would come right off that highway dragging that semi all the way up that damn steep grades. Yeah. And his deuce and a half was painted the brightest fire engine red you could get, and it was covered in lights. I mean, the thing was all lit up. He called it Big Red, and yeah, it was a tough tow truck. But we had so many 18-wheelers going off the Highway 29 up there, going from Missoula. Yep, you're right, pal. You are right. Yeah, I saw the notification.
Okay.
Yep, you are right. We're going to be wrapping this up pretty soon here, guys. Oh, and we're talking minutes. This old boy's butt needs to be moved around.
Did you take your medicine earlier?
Oh no, I'm about a half hour off, aren't I? So,
And it's not here to remind you.
Did you hear that?
Thank God, that's the last.
Although she is lurking.
I gotta fill this in the morning to have my pills.
You gotta what?
I gotta fill it in the morning.
Be careful the way you use those words.
Shush. Yeah, I still got about a half a thermos of coffee left, but I definitely need to get my butt to us over on that couch, I think. After I whip myself a snack together but then I got to get my butt to bed. I got a doctor's appointment in the morning. Tomorrow's a big day for me.
Yeah.
I got this it's a virtual doctor's appointment, but it's going to be a long one because we're working out what my insulin plan will be, and I'll be going back on insulin sometime early January. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Are they going to make you do your own proctology exam?
She won't let me do that on.
You won't let you do it yourself?
No, I told her the last time I had a virtual exam, I said, okay, you asked all the questions, we talked about all the things and stuff. I said, I stood up and I started turning around, and she goes, what are you doing? I go, isn't it time for a proctor? You're going to walk me through this, right? That's when all of a sudden, no, you're coming to the office from now on, Sty.
My question on that exam, if it's you, do you have to wear gloves?
Good question.
I mean,
I ain't got an answer, but good question.
If it's you, do you have to wear gloves? Yeah.
She never walked me through it, so I don't know. That, yeah.
Good night, dear.
Sounds uncomfortable to me, no matter which way you do
it.
True.
Self-examination, or
No.
The self-examination is probably like, yeah, everything's okay. The doctor, they self-examine, it's like,
yeah, Roto-Rooter.
But if I was examining, it's like, oh, yep, it's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm sure of it. The doctor in that case, it couldn't be too pleasant. Not much more pleasant than in office, It's just like, oh God, do I have to watch him do this to himself, But breast exams should be okay. Yeah. Can we do this on Zoom? I got a bunch of people I want to come and watch, That's pretty good. Yeah. All of a sudden you're getting your Zoom exams put up on YouTube. That's shouldn't have done that during my exam.
Yeah, no.
It was funnier than hell, because my doctor, scrubs her hands for about 5 minutes, and then she puts those gloves on, and she never touched me. She takes that light, looks in your ear, up your nose, down your throat thing. Never touched me. Then she goes over, peels those gloves off, throws them in the trash, puts about a half a gallon of hand sanitizer on her hands. And then she comes over and starts poking me around in the neck and the glands with no gloves on. And I'm like, something's ass backwards with this. I mean, if you don't touch me, you put gloves on. If you do touch me, you don't. I think she likes it all natural, No gloves between me and you when I'm examining, I don't know. I'm not going to question her, though. She, I'm good with it.
As long as you're getting a little hands-on from the females, you're good.
I tell you what, it's terrible, because she's a very attractive lady. I tell you, she's a beautiful young gal. Well, she's not that young anymore. She's in her late 40s, but she laughs at me. She goes, "Yeah, you can act like you got eye candy coming in the exam room, but you know better." And I go, "Yeah, your old man's bigger than me." Yeah. Yeah. I wish she had never introduced us to each other. Because once I saw that boy, all of a sudden, all my hopes went right out the damn window. Yeah, he's the kind of guy that's like, guess what? You're going to see a new doctor, and it's going to be in the emergency room. Yeah, very good people, but yeah. And I'll tell you what. There's so many guys that say, "Oh, I'd never have a woman doctor. I don't want her touching me and doing this and that and this and that." I tell you what, she's been my doctor for, well, it's been 18 years every exam for 18 years. And before that, for 2 years, I saw her periodically. And I'll tell you what, there hasn't been a time in that 18 years that I've regretted having her for a doctor, man. I'll tell you what, I feel more comfortable when she walks in the room than any guy doctor walking in. All the guy doctors I've had, they freaking hurt me, man. They do shit that hurts you. She comes in and she, like, if you feel like you got a blown out knee, she'll come over and she'll examine your knee and soft touch it and go, let me know the minute it hurts. And then you go, oh, yeah, that hurts. She quits doing that shit. These guy doctors, they just walk up and they go crunch, 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 crunch. You're screaming, beating on the rail of the bed. And they're going, does that hurt? Does it look like it freaking hurt, you moron?
Come on, man up, guy.
That's, they ask you after they hurt you, did that hurt? My doctor, she tells you, okay, I'm going to examine it, and you tell me when it hurts. I'm not going to do it and then ask you. I'm going to have you tell me the minute it hurts. Well, thank you. Well, thank you. Jesus. I had a male doctor, busted up back. I'm laying in the emergency room, and he says, what's the problem? And my wife spoke up. She says, he can't walk. His back is so bad right now, he can't walk on his own 2 feet. He goes, well, we'll figure this out. He grabs my ankle and pushes my leg up till my knees touching my chest. And he goes, does that hurt?
God.
And my wife said, the look on your face, and you're sitting there going, I said, I was out of breath. I couldn't say, fuck off. Don't do that. He was hurting me so bad I couldn't talk. And because I couldn't say anything, he straightens that leg out, turns, looks at my wife, and she goes, you shouldn't have done that. He says, well, it's not that bad. He said, we'll give him some mild pain relief, and then you can take him home. She says, I told you he can't walk. And he goes, oh, yeah, he can walk. He says, if it was worse than that, he would have said so. I was still sitting there out of breath. The pain was so bad. He walks out of the emergency room, and my wife looked at me, and she goes, well, I guess you're going to be a cripple the rest of your life. Because that guy's, if he checks you out again, he's going to fuck you up. I said, no, yeah, get me out of here. Get me out of here. Right. Wheelchair, quick. But my doctor, she'd never do anything like that. So yeah, I'm stuck with her. Anything happens to her, I'm going to die. She's what's really keeping me alive. But hey, guys, we hit that 3-hour mark. Sty's got to cut out of here because I got to go see that doctor early in the morning. Yeah, I didn't know she went to work that early either. But maybe this is a private exam. I don't know. That early in the morning. Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. The I will see all of you, I hope, Thursday night or on the Campfire. Pop in. It's New Year's Eve. I might get a little tipsy, but I ain't getting jolly like I did Christmas Day. That ain't happening. No. That's a little more than I can handle 3 times in a week and a half. Yeah.
Everything changes. But anyways, go ahead.
Oh no. Don't drink, y'all. Don't y'all dare drink none of those Fireballs. They are good. They taste so great. They are so good.
There are Fireballs in the middle of the evening.
You'll pay for it.
You'll pay for it. They're wonderful up front.
Oh, God, yes. But my Jesus, God, they'll knock you right on your butt. Literally.
Well, that's it. Fireball is a sleeper. It's one of those sleeper drinks where you don't know what's hitting you. But that's what happened the other night with me. Is I'm sitting there drinking all these Fireballs with everybody, and And it wasn't until I got up and walked away after I cut down the stream, I realized after about 6 feet from the studio, I should not be standing up. I should not be walking. I felt fine sitting in the chair. Oh yeah. Don't try to move. Don't try to move. But so, other than New Year's Eve, we're back to our regular schedule, Thursday night campfires and Sunday Sty Stories until further notice. We'll just keep moving on. And we're going to end this one tonight the way I've been ending them lately, or before the holiday. And I'm going to dance my ass right out of here, guys. And I'll see you all Thursday night, I hope.
See you Thursday.
And for his sake, keep it spicy.
Keep it spicy.
Yes, keep it spicy.
Yeah.